Casey at the Bat by Ernest Lawrence Thayer. The outlook wasn't brilliant for the Mudville Nine that day. The score stood 4-2, but with 1 inning more to play. And when Cooney died at first, and Barrows did the same, a pall-like silence fell upon the patrons of the game. A straggling few got up to go in deep despair. The rest clung to the hope which springs eternal in the human breast. They thought, if only Casey could but get a whack at that, we'd put up even money now with Casey at the bat. But Flynn preceded Casey, as did Jimmy Blake, and the former was a hoodoo, while the latter was a cake. So upon that stricken multitude grim, melancholy sat, for there seemed but little chance of Casey getting to the bat. But Flynn let drive a single, to the wonderment of all, and Blake, the much despised, tore the cover off the ball. And when the dust had lifted, and men saw what had occurred, there was Jimmy safe at second, and Flynn a hugging third. Then from 5,000 throats and more rose a lusty yell. It rumbled through the valley, it rattled in the dell. It pounded on the mountain and recoiled upon the flat, for Casey, mighty Casey, was advancing to the bat. There was ease in Casey's manner as he stepped into his place. There was pride in Casey's bearing, and a smile lit Casey's face. And when responding to the cheers, he lightly doffed his hat. No stranger in the crowd could doubt 'twas Casey at the bat. 10,000 eyes were on him as he rubbed his hands with dirt. 5,000 tongues applauded when he wiped them on his shirt. Then while the writhing pitcher ground the ball into his hip, defiance flashed in Casey's eye, a sneer cooled Casey's lip. And now the leather-covered sphere came hurtling through the air, and Casey stood a-watching it in a haughty grandeur there. Closed by the sturdy batsman, the ball unheeded sped. "That ain't my style," said Casey. "Strike one," the umpire said. From the benches black with people, there went up a muffled roar, like the beating of a storm waves on a stern and distant shore. "Kill him! Kill the umpire!" shouted someone on the stand, and it's likely they'd have killed him had not Casey raised his hand. With the smile of Christian charity, great Casey's visage shone. He stilled the rising tumult, he bade the game go on. He signaled to the pitcher, and once more the dun sphere flew. But Casey ignored it, and the umpire said, "Strike two!" "Fraud!" cried the maddened thousands, and echoed answered, "Fraud!" But one scornful look from Casey, and the audience was awed. They saw his face grow stern and cold. They saw his muscles strain. And they knew that Casey wouldn't let that ball go by again. The sneer is from Casey's lip. His teeth are clenched in hate. He pounds with cruel violence his bat upon the plate. And now the pitcher holds the ball. And now he lets it go. And now the air is shattered by the force of Casey's blow. Oh, somewhere in the favored land, the sun is shining bright. The band is playing somewhere, and somewhere hearts are light. And somewhere men are laughing, and somewhere children shout. But there is no joy in Mudville. Mighty Casey has struck out. Casey at the Bat, Ernest Lawrence Thayer, published June 3rd, 1888. San Francisco Examiner. Lineup for Braves Country by D.M. Magee, 2024. A is for Aaron, the Hammer and Hank, the real home run king. Take that to the bank. B is for Bobby. Cox never cowered. He'd give Blue quite an earful on his way to the showers. C is for Chipper. Don't call him Larry. He would show up in Shea, the Mets he would bury. D is for David. Justice he'd bring. A Game 6 solo brought Atlanta their ring. E is for Eddie Matthews. 512 bombs away. Lit skies from Boston to Milwaukee to the A. F is for Fred. McGriff's dog-biting crime. A fire was lit the day he arrived. G is for Glavin. Southpaw winds and kicks. Changing speeds east and west. A gem in Game 6. H is for Harry and his brother George Wright. The father of baseball, Boston pennants in flight. I is for inning, ending double play. Riley to Ozzie to Olsen all day. J is for Jones. Andrew let her fly. And his gloves in center is where singles would die. K is for strikeouts. A plenty from Strider. The quads in the stash, getting swings from that slider. L is for Lopez. Javi to B-Mac. Travis and Smurf, we've been lucky to see that. M is for Mad Dog. He won 355. Could swat flies with the changeup and still bust you inside. N is for Necro. He got to the hall by bending and knuckling and floating that ball. O is for Otis. Old Nixon could fly. The catch at the wall baffled our eyes. P still for Peterson. We were all rockin' pearls. With Eddie and Jorge, we were out of this world. Q is a quandary for why Dale is not in. Murphy MVPs again and again. R is for ranking. The top pitchers lore. Remember Kid Nichols, 107 WAR. S is for Smoltzy. The big three in the hall. When the game's on the line, you give John the ball. T is for Tyler. Matzik and the gift of 2021, the entire night shift. U is for Chavez, but we say Uncle Jesse. The frames, the release, kept the batters guessing. V is Van Weeren. Skip Carey 2. Don Ernie Joe, the tales from the booth. W is Warren. Spawn Johnny Sane. They'd ride him in Boston and then pray for rain. X is Mazzoni. Yeah, X marked the spot. Leo rocked next to Bobby, and his pitchers stayed hot. Why it makes us feel young. the game's main appeal. Chopping through the battery, there's no better feel. Z is for zip, boom, bam, ram-a-lamma, ding-dong. Throughout the summer, we sing that song. From AJ to eyeglasses and a hell of a pen. Mad Max, Uncle Charlie, win after win. A cannon from short, and RC you later. Acuna Matata, there is no one greater. Though you can't fit them all when you just A to Z. Think of your favorites in the rafters we see. I started with 3, then 10, 25, 47, 31, and of course 29. Let's not forget 21, 41, 35, the great 44, or 755, and old number 6, who led his great teams. The pennants were flying, it felt like a dream. From Boston to Milwaukee to Atlanta's TBS, a family, a tradition, Braves country's the best. Lineup for Braves Country by DM McGee, 2024.
Like me, you can't smoke like me. So don't try and be like me. Let's party together.
there's something kind of about a kid that's never played baseball.
Baseball is a beautiful thing. It's more beautiful in an old park. It's asymmetrical and quirky. But even in a dome with artificial turf, it's beautiful. The way the field fans out, the choreography of the sport, the pace and rhythm of it, the fact that that pace and rhythm allows for conversation and reflection and opinion and comparison.
In right field, the crowd is tormenting Strawberries, singing Darryl, Darryl. Little roller up along first, behind the bag. It gets through Buckner. Here comes Knight, and the Mets win.
And there's a fly ball deep to left. It's on its way. There it goes. And the Yankees are going to the World Series. Aaron Boone.
Ground ball stabbed by Polk. He has it. He underhands to first for the first time in 86 years. The Red Sox have won baseball world championship. Can you believe it?
It's a pastime, something you do. It's entertainment, something you watch. And it's a shared experience, something you talk about and read about. But you can apply those same three criteria to other things. What makes baseball special is that it's the best game that's ever been devised.
Smith corks one into right down the line. It may go. Go crazy, folks. Go crazy.
Sure as God made green apples, someday the Chicago Cubs are going to be in the World Series.
A little bouncer slowly toward Bryant. He will glove it in front of Rizzo. It's in time. And the Chicago Cubs win the World Series. Cubs win. What a lucky break. The good Lord wants the Cubs to win.
How can you not be romantic about baseball?
If baseball is about caring, about loyalty and rivalry.
Braves fans are on their feet hoping for some kind of a bleeder or a seeing-eye single. Here's the 1-2 pitch. Fastball hit high and deep down the right field line. It's going back, back, back. Is it fair? Is it zip, boom, bam, it's gone! Ram-a-lam-a ding dong, a 3-run shot, and your Atlanta Braves have taken a 1-run lead. She's gone, baby!
There's a very peaceful thing. It was created and played in pastures and meadows. There's grass, there's outdoors, there's everything that people thought was American and feel about America. You get in a ballpark, and it's the wonder of walking through that dark tunnel and seeing a huge open space where men play the little boy's game.
I believe in the Church of Baseball. I've tried all the major religions and most of the minor ones. I know things. For instance, there are 108 beads in a Catholic rosary and there are 108 stitches in a baseball. I prefer metaphysics to theology. You see, there's no guilt in baseball, and it's never boring. It's a long season and you gotta trust it. I've tried them all, I really have. And the only church that truly feeds the soul day in, day out is the Church of Baseball.
You're in Braves country.
If there's a bigger thing going on right now, I don't know what it is. We're down to one strike here. Gurriel, the last hope for the Houston Astros. Here's the 0-2 pitch. Swung on. Bounce over to Dansby. Dansby fires it over to first. And here comes the dog pile. Fire the cannons in the battery. Do the chop. All throughout Braves country, pop that top! Your Atlanta Braves have won it all!
Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight, o'er the ramparts we
7 o'clock in the morning. Scotch?
Hey, howdy, hi, and how the hell are you? Pull up an armchair, girls and boys, and join us for Braves Country Baseball. You're listening live, and the scene is Truist Park in Atlanta, Georgia, where we're set to bring you pitch-by-pitch, play-by-play of your Atlanta Braves. Hi, I'm Mac Magee. Here are your starting lineups for today's action. Leading off the designated hitter, Shohei Ohtani. 47 home runs, 104 RBI, 48 stolen bases, batting .289. Batting second, playing right, Mookie Betts. 17 home runs, 67 RBI, 14 stolen bases, batting .301. Batting third, playing first, Freddie Freeman. 21 home runs, 83 RBI, 7 stolen bases, batting .280. Batting cleanup and in left is Teoscar Hernandez. 28 home runs, 87 RBI, 11 stolen bases, batting .268. Tommy Edman is at shortstop tonight and batting fifth. 4 home runs, 14 RBI, 5 stolen bases, batting .294. Max Muncy is manning third and batting sixth. 14 home runs, 39 RBI, .221 average. Gavin Lux batting seventh, playing second. 10 home runs, 47 RBI, 5 stolen bases, batting .248. Austin Barnes behind home plate, batting eighth, 1 home run, 11 RBI, 2 stolen bases, batting .263. Kevin Kiermaier is in center field and batting eighth. 5 home runs, 24 RBI, 6 stolen bases, batting .191. On the mound for the LA Dodgers, Walker Buehler. He's 1-5 with a 5.95 ERA. 1.64 whip, 76 hits allowed, 49 strikeouts to 21 walks and 15 home runs served in just 59 innings. He'll be going head-to-head with Charlie Morton. Uncle Charlie's 8-8 with a 4.11 ERA, a 1.32 whip, 149 innings pitched, 139 hits allowed, 155 strikeouts, 21 home runs, 57 walks. Backing up Uncle Charlie in the bottom of the first inning and patrolling center field for your Atlanta Braves, it's Michael Harris II. 11 home runs, 39 RBI, 8 stolen bases, batting .247. Batting second, playing right, Jorge Soler. 18 home runs, 57 RBI, 1 stolen base, batting .237. Batting third, the designated hitter, Marcell Ozuna. 37 home runs, 98 RBI, a .305 average. Matt Olson, batting cleanup and playing first. 25 home runs, a .238 average, 86 RBI. Back behind home plate, it's Travis d'Arnaud. 14 home runs, 46 RBI, batting fifth with a .242 average, 1 stolen base. Batting sixth, the shortstop, Orlando Arcia. He has 16 home runs, 45 RBI, 2 stolen bases, batting .220. Jared Kelenic is batting seventh and playing left. 15 home runs, 44 RBI, 7 stolen bases, batting .231. Gio Urshela batting eighth and playing third. 6 home runs, 44 RBI, a .243 average. Whit Merrifield is batting ninth and playing second. He has 4 home runs, 15 RBI, 16 stolen bases, batting .229. Calling balls and strikes behind home plate tonight, it's Dan Merzel. First base will be manned by Mark Carlson. Second base umpire is Stu Sherwater, and down the third base line, it's John Lipka. Game time temperatures here at Truist Park are expected to be about 75 degrees and overcast. Your Atlanta Braves come in 14 games over 500 at 81-67. The Los Angeles Dodgers 87-61. Atlanta is 42-31 at home. LA 39-34 on the road. Your Atlanta Braves are minus 115 on the money line. The over-under is 8.5. We'd like to thank all the Country Club members for helping support the channel. Please become a Country Club member today. And if you haven't already, smash that like and subscribe to Braves Country Radio. Well, it's about that time. Grab you a cold one. Find you an armchair. It's Braves Dodgers Game 3 of a 4-game set. Uncle Charlie on the mound tonight, so we got the Uncle Charlie emoji kicking for you Country Club members. got a few others in there. Show your Braves pride. Walker Buehler is not the same Walker Buehler of before, so I'm kind of throwing his numbers out the window against Braves batters. But we will go with Travis d'Arnaud, who is 6 for 12 lifetime and does have a home run against Buehler. Once again, this is not the Buehler we saw before the Tommy John. Not yet. We'll take your Atlanta Braves to win this one with the offense kind of warming up here. We're going to take Atlanta to put some on the board tonight. Give me your Atlanta Braves 8, Dodgers 3. Travis d'Arnaud, he's going to go yard. That's how much we believe in this pick tonight. It's time to warm up those chop arms, Country Club, Braves Country. Get your game face on. We win this one tonight. We have a 1-game lead over the Mets, and we will have clinched the series against the Dodgers here in Atlanta with a chance to return the favor tomorrow with a win tonight, way back at the beginning of the year when the Dodgers swept the Braves in LA.
Get this bus moving. Stop. Come back. Too late.
Roll call! Yeah, roll call!
You're in Braves country.
Good evening.
Get this bus moving. Stop. Come back. Too late.
Roll call! Yeah, roll call!
You're in Braves country.
Country. Atlanta Braves just a couple of minutes away for pitch-by-pitch, play-by-play of your Atlanta Braves. Yes, sir! It is baseball time in Braves Country. Let's go ahead and hit the roll call. See who we got in here in the chat so far. If you haven't already, go ahead and jump in the chat and say hi. Good evening, Daryl. I see the Beeve Country Club member. Howdy, Daniel. Gary. We see the GOAT Country Club member. Our two moderators with the Beeve, along with the folks in the background. Good evening, Jameson. Who else do we have in the chat today? I thought I saw a few more. Charles, Country Club member, good to see you. John, good to see you. Glad to see you're back. Haven't seen you in a few days. Hope all is well. And AY Country Club member, good to see you. I'm sure everyone else is will start heading over this way here in a couple of minutes as the game begins. First pitch is set for 7:10 Eastern. Your Atlanta Braves set to face the LA Dodgers as look, I don't know if you were scoreboard watching today in baseball, if you were just consumed by the National Football League, but the Mets lost, so the Braves are now a half game in front. By the way, it is Roberto Clemente Day, so everyone's got the 21s. I understand it's his birthday, but I really feel like they should have just made it September 21st. It would have been a lot easier for people to remember. But they'll have the 21s on the chest if you're following along, watching the game on TV and wondering what that is. The Dodgers are in their road grays, classic road grays with Dodgers across the chest in Dodger blue. Braves are wearing their classic home whites, white top to bottom, white tops, white pants. Braves across the chest in red, outlined in navy. We are just about set for pitch-by-pitch, play-by-play of your Atlanta Braves. Good to see you, Mark. And here's hoping everything turns out all right for you, Mark, with that Tua injury. That was a nasty thing that we went over on the football show, so we won't beat it to death now. But I saw a report today that said that he's not planning on retiring, which it'll be interesting to see how long he's out. Does he play anymore this year? But nonetheless, the Atlanta Braves, Charlie Morton doing his final warm-up tosses. If you haven't already made your prediction, pick to click. We'd like to see who you got going on the pick to click tonight. And once again, as soon as the screen populates, the 3D, you will get 3D on your screen. Of Braves-Dodgers baseball. It's always usually about 1 to 2 batters before it really clicks in. So Charlie Morton firing his last warm-up tosses. First pitch was set for 7:10, and it is 7:10 Eastern as we speak. Charlie Morton, what you'll see from him tonight, he throws 5 pitches. The curveball about 42% of the time. The four-seamer about 29% of the time. He's got a 25% strikeout rate, 9% walk rate, and a lot of those walks are to left-handed batters when the curveball hits their back foot. It's just something you have to live with. He's got a changeup, sinker, and cutter, and he distributes those all pretty evenly. The change at 11%, sinker at 10%, and the cut at 8%. And we are just about set. Shohei Ohtani gets into the box. And yes, sir, it is baseball time in Braves country. First pitch on the way, 96 mile an hour, swing and a miss up top. It's 0-1. Righty-lefty matchup. Ohtani, the presumed favorite for the National League MVP. Charlie kicks and fires. Curveball snaps the side of the zone. 0-2. So an 0-2 count. Ohtani batting .289. The 0-2 from Charlie. Kicks and fires. Swing and a miss. Strike 3. Got him with the curveball down and in. 1 away. In years past, you would say that the Atlanta Braves would be the underdog in this game because Walker Buehler on the mound. But he's coming back from Tommy John surgery. He's really had a rough go, so the Braves are actually looked upon as the presumed favorite just by a slight edge tonight. First pitch on the way. Mookie Betts stands in. Pitch is well off the plate. It's 1-0. Righty-righty matchup. The 1-0. Kicks and fires. Four-seam fastball. Fouls it back, 1-1. 1-1 count. Braves nothing, Dodgers nothing. The pitch on the way. Inside. 2-1. Charlie Morton coming set. Turns, kicks, and delivers. 96 up top. Called for a wide strike. High and wide, 2-2. Your home plate umpire is Dan Merzel. He's pretty much known as a pitcher's umpire. The 2-2 swung on and lifted high and deep into center field, drifting back just before the warning track is Michael the Hawk Harris for a long out, number 2. Dropped a curveball on the outer edge and got a little too much of the plate, but he did get away with it. First pitch on the way to Freddie Freeman, 95 up top. Misses high for a ball. It's 1-0. I think we're just about caught up. The 1-0 to Freeman. Misses outside. Curveball, 2-0. So a 2-0 count. Kicks and fires. Swung on, lifted back behind, over the third base side. 2-1. The 2-1 from Charlie. Inside, 96 misses, ball 3, 3-1. The Charlie Morton trying to stay out of the wheelhouse of Freddie Freeman. Standing on deck is Tesker Hernandez. The 3-1. Swing and a miss, 96 up top, 3-2. The payoff pitch, 96 inside. He gets the call, ball 4. Close pitch. That pitch looked like it might have touched the inside of the zone, but Freddie Freeman got the benefit of the doubt. First pitch on the way to Tesker Hernandez is outside wide. (1-0) to Tesker Hernandez. Kicks and fires. Looked like he went around. He did. Kind of went around on that curveball. 1-1. Curveball was in the dirt. So 1-1 from Charlie. Righty pitch on the way. Swung on, hit back up the middle. Which should be there. He was looking to flip it to second. No one's there, so he'll flip it to first, and that'll end the inning. 4-3 in your scorecard. Hernandez hits into the shift. We'll be back in a flash. The Braves grab the bats here on Sunday Night Baseball.
Okay, everybody, I'm on day 6. I'm walking from Virginia to Texas, and now I'm going to cross the Rio Grande and get to Mexico and give up my United States citizenship to break back into America so that I don't have to pay taxes and get free housing and free all kind of But listen, I got to start working on my Spanglish, amigo.
Well, I have a date, too.
Who is it? What's his name?
His name is not important. What's important is he's better than you in every conceivable way.
Well, damn, that could be anybody!
I'm a girl mom. Of course it feels like I'm in the mirror arguing with myself every day. I'm the one she's talking about, and I get it from my mama.
I'm a girl mom. Of course she steals all my shampoo, my conditioner, my makeup, my shoes, my socks, and anything else that's hers that she decides she wants to claim.
We have to share. She be trying to be selfish.
I'm a girl mom. Of course she's my little broke best friend.
Of course I'm her broke best friend.
I'm a girl mom. Of course I hide in my car and eat snacks so she don't steal them. I'm a girl mom. Of course I can't like the friends that she doesn't like anymore.
If I don't like you, she can't like you.
I'm a girl mom. Of course there's other teenage girls here every weekend that also call me mom.
They call her mama because she's the best mama.
The famous Baltimore chop. They would intentionally hit down on the ball, hoping to get a large bounce, which would give the runner time to make it all the way to first base before the shortstop or second baseman could even field it. They would, opposing teams to combat this would flood the area in front of home plate so that when they hit down for the Baltimore chop, the ball would just stop there and the catcher would pick it up and throw the guy out at first. It was an entire set of strategies, tactics, and most importantly, attitudes, which I think that story reveals, that really defined baseball at the time.
Welcome back to Braves Country Baseball. Good to see you, Willis. Matthew, underwater. A couple of folks coming in a little later. Travis. After a big day of football watching. Billy Sanford, country club member. We head to the top of the, or bottom of the first inning. First pitch on the way. It's swung on and dribbled over. It's going to be a 4-3 put out. One away. We'll get it kicked in. ESPN always has a delay that we have to fix so it will sync up. I think we just about got it. First pitch on the way to Soler is chopped foul. After the 1-0, it's 1-1. The 1-1 from Buehler. Kicks and fires. Pitch down. 2-1. So a 2-1 count. Braves nothing, Dodgers nothing. Righty-righty matchup. The 2-1 from Buehler. 79 on the outer cut. Called for a strike, a wide, low strike. Soler doesn't like it, 2-2. The 2-2 from Buehler, swing and a miss, strike 3. 2 away. Really hated to see Harris take his first pitch swinging. He does that a lot. And it's nothing that they have fixed. It doesn't appear that Seitzer has any intentions of fixing it. But when you have a leadoff hitter and he gives away an at bat early in the game, it really can set the tone for the next few innings. So just 6 pitches in. First pitch on the way to Ozuna is outside wide for a ball. It's 1-0. That's why I like the idea of having Merrifield up there as the leadoff hitter, because he will take pitches. Maybe you slide everybody down a slot, but he will fight for an at-bat. The 1-0. 91 out wide. Called for a wide strike. Bad call by home plate umpire Merzel. 1-1. We did say he is a pitcher's umpire, so when you got 2 strikes, you're going to have to swing the bat. The 1-1. 96 right down the pipe. 1-2. So a 1-2 count. Braves nothing, Dodgers nothing. Bottom of the first inning. Pitch on the way. Up high, misses. 2-2. The 2-2. Kicks and fires. 94 out wide. Full count. Same 2 teams back at it tomorrow night, 7:20 first pitch. We'll have it right here on Braves Country Radio. The 3-2 pitch. Swung on, chops it in front of the shortstop, who fires it down to first. Tommy Edman had to come in quite a ways. It was a high chopper. He makes the play, 6-3 your put out, and that'll end the inning. 3 up, 3 down. We'll be back in a flash. Top of the second we go. 0-0 in Atlanta.
This is the story of Hector Espino. He was considered by many to be one of the greatest hitters of all time. People who played with him said he hit line drives so hard that infielders would drop them. Despite having offers from the Cardinals, Angels, Yankees, Indians, and the Colt 45s, he never had a single big league plate appearance in his career. He batted at least 300 every year but one over his 24-year career. Once he arrived in the Mexican League, he earned Rookie of the Year honors with a .358 batting average, 23 home runs, 12 triples, and 103 RBIs. In 1964, he continued to improve, hitting .371 and setting a Mexican League single-season record with 46 home runs. The closest he ever came to the major leagues was when he played 32 games with the Jacksonville Suns, the Cardinals' AAA affiliate, in late 1964. In that short period, he hit .300 with 6 doubles, 15 RBIs, and 15 runs scored. He returned to the Mexican League in 1965. Over the next 5 seasons, all he did was continue to knock the cover off the ball, which can be validated by his 2 home run titles during that time. He remains the only player in Mexican Pacific League history with a career average over 300. He ended up slugging 484 home runs over his career, 24 seasons, 13 batting titles, 6 home run crowns, and 6 MVP awards.
Get a job? Yeah. Just get a job? Why don't I strap on my job helmet and squeeze down into a job cannon and fire off into job land where jobs grow on jobbies?
The most pugnacious Oriole of them all was the third baseman, John Joseph McGraw. McGraw was born in Truxton, New York, the first of 8 children of an Irish immigrant railroad worker and his wife. When diphtheria struck his village in 1884, one by one he watched as first his mother and then 4 of his brothers and sisters died. His father took out his grief and anger on his son, beating him so often and so mercilessly that at 12 he feared for his life and ran away from home. He supported himself at odd jobs until he won himself a place on the Olean, New York professional team at 16, and never again willingly took orders from any man.
Welcome back to Braves Country Baseball. Yeah, the Bee was asking in the chat if the Braves win tonight and win tomorrow night and sweep the Dodgers when they get the season series, they would be 4-3 at that point. First pitch on the way from Charlie Morton to start the second inning. It's called for a ball just off the plate. It's 1-0. Righty-lefty matchup. The 1-0 swung on, hammered into right field. That's going to be extra bases. It gets down into the right field corner. Soler grabs it, fires it into the infield, but not before Tommy Edman, the shortstop, has a leadoff double and does his little Dodger sachet as their celebration this year at second base. One way or the other, by Monday night, we will have a division series winner, assuming weather, because the Dodgers swept the Braves 3-0 out in L.A. earlier this year. The Braves have taken the first 2 of this series. First pitch on the way to Matt Muncy's outside wide for a ball. It's 1-0. I do believe it's going to take some runs to win tonight because very rare you keep the Dodgers down 3 games in a row. The 1-0, outside wide, 2-0. So a 2-0 count. Max Muncy batting .221. He'll take the 2-0 right there for a strike, 2-1. Muncy, 14 home runs on the year, an .827 OPS. The 2-1 from Charlie. Kicks and fires. Swing and a miss over the top. Looked like the curveball, 2-2. Braves nothing, Dodgers nothing. Runner on second, nobody out. The 2-2 brings it. Swung on, pops it up, high and deep into left field. Coming around, circling towards third base is Jared Kelenic. He'll make the catch. Wouldn't quite call it deep left field for the first out of the inning. Kelenic did a good job to circle around and get his momentum going, so Edman couldn't even think about getting down to third. Edman does have good speed. Remember, he was playing center field in game 1 of this series. Made a couple of really good plays. First pitch from Charlie. Curveball on the outer edge. It's 0-1. Gavin Lux, a 694 OPS, 10 home runs, 47 RBI. A 248 average, the 0-1. Swing and a miss up top. It's 0-2. Braves nothing, Dodgers nothing. Charlie Morton, he's going to step off the rubber for a second, so that'll count as a move. Comes set now, looks back the runner at second. The 0-2 pitch, inside 95. Lux had to kind of bend out of the way. One on, one out. Charlie brings it. Swing and a miss. Strike 3. Got him with the curveball down in the dirt. 2 away. We could not sweep tonight, but we could make the series 3-3, the season series. The only way that comes into play is if the Dodgers fall so far in the standings that they end up as a wild card, which is fairly unlikely, but it's not impossible because the Padres keep winning. First pitch on the way up top, 95, misses high. It's 1-0. Austin Barnes, your batter. He's catching for Will Smith tonight. 1 home run, 11 RBI. He's the backup catcher for Los Angeles. The 1-0. Outside wide, 2-0. 2-0 count. If you are familiar with Bob Nightingale, by the way, the writer, I think he's still USA Today, but USA Today has crumbled, so I'm not sure what he does now. The 2-0, swing and a miss, 2-1. He put out a tweet last night. I'm going to read it to y'all because it's pretty funny. I wouldn't have caught it, but everybody else that was in the chat once I went into the comments, they caught it. And I had to laugh about it because this is what he said. The 2-1. Down below the knees, 95-mile-an-hour fastball just missed. 3-1. The 3-1 count. Runner at second, 2 outs, the pitch. Swing, lifts it high. Deep into right field, but coming over, making the catch is Soler, and that'll end the inning. Dodgers threaten but can't score. When we come back, I'll tell you what that tweet says because it was very derogatory towards the Braves.
All right, you got 25-87.
Not for long. I make bad financial decisions.
Are you stressed out?
Yeah.
And you could use a vacation?
Yes.
Introducing planning a trip with friends.
What's that?
It's been a stressful few months, so what better way to relax than going on a fun trip with your group of friends?
That sounds like a great idea. How does it work?
It's simple. Come up with an itinerary, pitch the plan to your friends, watch them be sort of interested but non-committal, and the trip never happens.
Wait.
That's right, dork. Did you forget that all your friends have good jobs and relationships and you have neither? Of course they're too busy for your cabin weekend idea.
I used to think that my friends and I would be going on fun, extravagant trips as we got older, but instead I see them once every 5 months.
Try it today.
Look, dude, I feel guilty all the time for my thoughts and urges, but I'm not going to talk to a therapist who's going to make me, deal with it and confront those issues.
Fatigue makes cowards of us all. You can't play fatigued. Therefore, it's up to you to be in prime physical condition. You've got to keep yourself in prime physical condition because a fatigued player is a coward.
He batted .321 or better over 9 consecutive seasons. and stole 436 bases. Although he was short and weighed barely 120 pounds, he tripped opposing runners on the base paths, blocked them, spiked them, and rarely complained when they did the same to him. We'd spit tobacco juice on a spike wound, he remembered, rub dirt in it, and get out there and play. Mayhem seemed to follow John McGraw wherever he went. When he got into a fistfight with the opposing third baseman in Boston in 1894, both benches emptied. Fans began brawling. Someone set the stands on fire, and the entire wooden ballpark and 170 neighborhood buildings went up in flames.
Welcome back to Braves Country Baseball. We head to the bottom of the second inning. Matt Olson will be the batter. So Bob Nightingale, by the way, I did look it up. He is still currently running for USA Today, which kind of tells you where his head's at. And says he's an insider is the first pitch on the way to Olson's high and inside. That ball about head high. Olson had to bend out of the way. It's 1-0. I don't think there's any intent there. Lefty-righty matchup, the 1-0. Swing! That ball's chopped down the right field line. Foul. Curveball, 1-1. Nightingale, right after the game last night, says Atlanta pounds the Dodgers again 10-1. Atlanta pounds the Dodgers again 10-1. Just remember he said that. The 1-1 down and in. Did he go around? Doesn't look like he did. 2-1. Atlanta has more key injuries than any other team in baseball, but refused to go away, and it will be as dangerous as any team in October. So the point of that is the 2-1 swung on, slice foul, 2-2. And I guess he's made a habit of this. I'm not aware of it. I see his tweets, but I don't even know if I follow him. But anyways, the point of it is he refuses to say Braves because he thinks it's some kind of an offensive nickname. The 2-2. Swing, slaps it back down the line. Foul, we'll do it again. Well, I don't need to tell you how they came at him on X. They were basically saying, say their name kind of stuff. But because at first I was like, what are they talking about? And then I realized I went through some of his tweets about the Braves. The 2-2, misses high. Ball 3, 3-2. And he always refers to them Atlanta, and you'll notice that he referred to the Dodgers as the Dodgers. The payoff pitch, swing, sliced it foul, back behind him. We'll do it again. But anyways, it's a pretty funny note because when I saw all the comments, like, what are they talking about? I go, oh, okay, I get it. 3-2 count, bottom of the second, nobody out. Nothing, your score. The payoff pitch misses high, ball 4. So Matt Olson will head on down to first. That was pretty much the name that was floating around, John, as you can imagine. I saw your comment. The first pitch on the way to Travis d'Arnaud is a swing and a miss strike. It's 0-1. d'Arnaud 6 for 12 lifetime against Buehler. He does have a home run. Murphy getting the night off. They've been going pretty much back and forth as the 0-1 swung on, slice foul, 0-2. I thought that when Travis came back from his paternity ward, you might see a few more games with Travis because Murphy really hasn't been swinging the bat that well, not to mention the fact, give him some days to rest and get Travis's bat in the offense. The 0-2, down below the knees, 1-2. Not that d'Arnaud's numbers are anything to write home about, but he does have a 756 OPS, 242 average, both of those much higher than Murphy, and he does have 14 home runs on the year. The 1-2 to Travis. Swing, slice it back foul. We'll do it again. Make the argument that if Travis was an everyday catcher, he'd probably be somewhere between 22, 25 home runs by now. Runner on first, nobody out. 1-2 count, nothing your score. Lando Arcia stands on deck. The pitch on the way, swung on, chopped over towards third, and it's going to be a 5-4-3 double play. One thing you don't want your catcher to do is hit it on the ground to third base. 2 away. 2 down. Lando Arcia, the batter. Righty-righty matchup. First pitch on the way. Takes a cutter up and out of the zone. It's 0-1. The 0-1. Swing. Slices it foul. Into the stands. Well past the first base dugout. 0-2. The 0-2 swung on and scorched up the middle. That's going to get down for a base hit. Your first base hit for your Atlanta Braves. We still got 1 on, 2 out. Coming to the plate is Kid Kelnick. Two down. First pitch on the way is 95 off the plate. Just misses. It's 1-0. The 1-0. Righty-lefty. Misses high 2-0. Well, I see your comment, Grateful. I can tell you this. I met Tommy Lasorda in a Nashville bar years ago. And he might say one thing publicly, but he damn sure wasn't that way privately, which is usually the case. The 2-0 swung on, chopped foul, back behind home plate, 2-1. I don't ever recall Lasorda saying that, but nonetheless, it's not really. Nightingale is not a Los Angeles Dodgers writer. He's a national writer for USA Today. The 2-1. Misses high, I guess. 3-1. We'll take it, but that pitch looked like it hit the top of the zone. He's also famous for whenever he tweets something out, people quickly assume that he's wrong. And so the short of it would be something like if he were to tweet out something football related, like Tua is expected to retire, people would immediately come back and say, there's a pitch on the way, chop foul, full count. People would immediately come back in his tweets and say something to the effect of, so that means that Tua is playing this Sunday. It's that kind of thing with him. It's always been that way with him. I'm not sure where that started, but I've seen that in his comments forever. The payoff pitch, swing. Guess that got a piece of him. Must have got a piece of his foot because Kelnick is hopping around. They're going to give him a second to walk it off. Looked like if it did get a piece of him, it looks like it would be his right foot. We can not absorb another injury. The payoff pitch. Runner at first, 2 outs. Arcia goes. Swing! That ball's hammered down the first base line again. This time foul once again. The good news about this is after that one pitch out from Harris to start the game, the Braves have now worked it up to 35 pitches on Buehler. Remember, their bullpen's been pretty taxed these last couple of games. The Dodgers are looking at big picture stuff, so it'll be interesting to see how they play this game out. The 3-2 swung on, pops it back foul over the third base side, high into the upper deck. We'll do it again. Braves nothing, Dodgers nothing. The payoff pitch. In the dirt, ball 4. So Kelnick heads on down to first. You're welcome, Charles. 2 on, 2 out. Coming to the plate, Gio Urshela. So far, the Atlanta Braves have 1 hit. The Dodgers have 1 hit. They're going out there to Mountain to have a quick little talk with Walker Buehler. While they're doing that, for whatever reason, ESPN is getting lost in Mookie Betts' eyes, so there's nothing to report on what's going on. They're just out there yapping to him. So 2 on, 2 out. First pitch on the way to Gio. Sinker out of the zone, just below the knees, 1-0. The 1-0. Kicks and fires. Swing, pops it up. High, but not very far. Shallow center field. Shallow enough where Gavin Lux, the second baseman, makes the catch. Braves put 2 on, but can't do anything with it. We head to the third. 0-0 versus L.A.
Never make a shopping list. Just forget half of the you were supposed to get. Be a man.
Hello, these are the worst things my wife has done since Travis Kelce and Taylor Swift started dating. Number 1, she wants to watch the game. She has no concern over which team wins or how the game is played. She just wants to show me pictures of Taylor in the box or talk about what they're going to do after the season's over or where he's going to join her on tour. Number 2, she's learning. Now, normally I am all for people expanding their minds, except when it is to just hurt my feelings. Like, for instance, she learned the other day that Travis Kelce's position is called the tight end. She asked when I played football, was my position called the little flat end? Not only was this hurtful, but it was a sweet chirp. Number 3, she gave me a nickname. Travis Kelce has many nicknames, one of them being the Big Yeti. When my wife learned this, she started calling me the Big Spaghetti, saying that I look like I eat more pasta than he does. Another sweet chirp. Damn you, woman. And number 4, she gets mad when I don't remember things I don't know. Not only is my wife obsessed with Travis and Taylor, she's also obsessed with the entire Kelce family. She asked me the other day when she couldn't recall what Jason Kelce's oldest daughter's name was. And finally, she asked if the losing team in the Super Bowl gets any bowl at all.
A, B, C, D, E, F, G. Today ain't the day for a hoe to try me.
Laborers leave the shade and quiet of a shop for the sun and fury of a ball ground. They stand and they exercise for hours. They attest that they mean to be men and not machines. Athletic games carry men back to their days of childhood. There is indeed, morally, a home base in all of them, as there is literally in baseball.
Welcome back to Braves Country Baseball. Atlanta Braves. Los Angeles Dodgers. It is 0-0. We're heading to the top of the third inning. Kiermaier, the number 9 hitter, Ohtani and Betts are due up. First pitch on the way to Kiermaier. He shows bunt, but it wasn't really threat of a bunt. Takes the first pitch high and outside. It's 1-0. The 1-0 brings it. 95, nowhere near the plate, 2-0. Not someone you want to pitch around to get to Ohtani, that's for sure. Kiermaier batting just 191 with a 537 OPS. The 2-0 pitch. Right there at the knees on the outer cut, 2-1. We might have gotten one there. If that did hit the zone, it was just a seam as it went by. The 2-1 Curveball swung on, chopped foul back behind Kiermaier. 2-2. Kevin Kiermaier, now 34 years old. He was once a platinum glover, a gold glover for the Tampa Bay Rays from Fort Wayne, Indiana. He was drafted by the Rays back in 2010 out of Parkland College. The 2-2 to Kiermaier. Swing, lifts it high, not very deep. Camping underneath it is Kelnick. He'll make the catch with his silver glove, 1 away. Kevin Kiermaier spent last year and the first part of this year with the Toronto Blue Jays and was sent over to the Dodgers. So he's got 26 games with the Dodgers. But all in all this year, he has played 108 with 5 home runs. First pitch to Ohtani is a curveball right there for a strike. It's 0-1. Shohei Ohtani, righty-lefty. The changeup misses wide, 1-1. Ohtani, 47 home runs, 104 RBI, and 48 stolen bases. The 1-1 count brings it. Chops it off his foot. Do it again. So if you do the math there, he needs 3 home runs, 2 stolen bases to be a member of the 50-50 club. And if that doesn't seal the deal for MVP, nothing will. I think in theory, I don't think they would run him that much, but he in theory could get to 60. Pitch on the way. Caught, looking strike 3. You can hang a backwards K on that one, 2 away. Froze him with the hot cheese on the inside. I think he must have been sitting on curveball because he actually goes back on his heels. I don't know if I've seen that before. Ohtani's one of those, whoa, what the hell was that? Strike 3. First pitch to Betts is a curveball. Did he go around? They check down to first base umpire, Mark Carlson. He says yes, 0-1. The 0-1. Kicks and fires. Up high, misses. 1-1. Charlie Morton at 44 pitches, so he's pretty good on that front if he can get out of this inning fairly quickly. Braves nothing, Dodgers nothing. The 1-1. Swung on, hit hard on the ground over to third. Gio's got it. Babyface flips it over to Olsen. That'll end the inning. 3 up, 3 down. You can't beat that when we come back. Braves grab the bats and try to put one on the board.
Some girls belong to the streets. I, on the other hand, belong to the insane asylums. Like one of them, I don't know which one.
When people ask, are you doing anything tonight? On a work night. No, I already did a thing today. Work was the thing. There will be no more things, okay?
What's going on here, guys?
All right, Coach, so basically it was a holding call. But these dudes started me in their fantasy league, which is cool because this dude started our quarterback, but he started our kicker and I started their defense, so it's kind of a pickle.
Compromising the integrity of this game with your fantasy football leagues? Listen to me. If there was holding, you make that holding call. I don't care if it was on our team or not. I care about this game too much to let you...
Coach, you started their defense too, didn't you?
Yeah, you definitely started their defense.
Damn right I did.
Armchair.
You can't drink like me. You can't smoke like me. So don't try and be like me. Let's party together.
My grandfather was a sour old man. And I liked him. He lived with us. But he was out in the backyard throwing a ball when I was a little kid. He's smoking his pipe, and he said, you like baseball? And I said, yeah. He said, what do you play? I said, I'm a shortstop. And he said, that's what I used to play. And I said, you used to play? But, a year or so later, I found the local paper did a 50-year anniversary thing, and there was a reprint of a game that he had played in 1892, and it said, Watts. His name was Fred Watts, shortstop. And he had 2 hits. And I thought my grandfather played baseball in 1892. So it's part of your existence. It's part of our heritage.
You're listening to Braves Country Radio. Please like and subscribe today. YouTube.com/@BravesCountry. Welcome back to Braves Country Baseball. Atlanta Braves, 0-0 versus the Dodgers. Brewers and Diamondbacks. Milwaukee's up on Arizona 10-8. That would be very beneficial for the Braves if that score holds. First pitch on the way to Merrifield. The number 9 hitter is right there at the knees on the outer cut. 0-1. Witt, 648 OPS and a 229 batting average. 4 home runs to boot. Sinker at the knees. 0-2. 0-2 count. The pitch, swing, fouls it away. Padres held on to beat the Giants in extra innings. So they will hold their 2.5 game lead on the Braves, depending on what happens here. The 0-2, up high. 1-2. As of right now, Atlanta, who has a half-game lead on the Mets, who lost earlier today. The 1-2 pitch. Swing and a miss, strike 3. Chase one off the plate. 1 away. As of right now, the Braves are a game behind Arizona, 3 behind San Diego. If Atlanta was to win and the score out in the desert holds, we would move to within a half game of Arizona for the number 5 seed in the National League. First pitch on the way to Harris is down and in for a ball. It's 1-0. Something else, I tweeted this out this morning. I'll go ahead and read it to you. Because I got really curious about, well, what the hell happens if we end up tied with one of the other teams? The 1-0 inside. 2-0. 2-0 count. Righty, lefty, Harris lined out his first time up. Ball 3, 3-0. So the Atlanta Braves, if they were to beat the Dodgers these next 2 nights, they would hold the tiebreaker on them if it applies. Pitch on the way to Harris. It's right there at the knees. He was taken all the way, 3-1. If they end up tied with Arizona, Atlanta won the season series 5-2. The 3-1. Inside, ball 4. Ball gets away a bit, but Harris will walk on down to first. Didn't get away far enough where he'd be able to get all the way to second, so he'll take his time. They end up in a tie with the Padres. The Padres hold the tiebreaker as they've won 4 of 7 against Atlanta this year. And then as far as the New York Mets go, we talk about this all the time, but that final series against the Mets will determine that. First pitch on the way to Jorge Soler, swung on and chopped in between the plate in third, rolling towards the dugout. It's 0-1. Righty-righty matchup. Braves and Mets 5-5 in the season series so far, and they have 3 games left in Atlanta. The 0-1 looks like that hit him. Did it hit him? I don't know how in the world that curveball missed him. It was inside. 1-1. That was weird. Almost like the ball disappeared for a second. The 1-1. Check swing foul in between home and first. I think we got a little catcher interference, so never mind. Soler will head on down to first. We've gotten that a couple of times this past week. Barnes stuck his glove out too far, and when Soler did his half swing, he smacked the glove, so we got runners on first and second, one out. You'll notice that the Braves are wearing, much like Jackie Robinson days, the first pitch on the way to Ozuna is down the way for a ball. It's 1-0. They are wearing the 21 jerseys with no names on the back. Jorge Soler. Ozuna does not have it on, the 1-0. Swing and a miss. 1-1. It's kind of up to the players. I feel like eventually they're all going to start doing it, but the Dodgers, I believe the deal with them is that they're going to wait until they're at home to wear theirs. The 1-1, 96 up top, 1-2. Ozuna didn't like it. It looked like it touched the top of the zone. I think the problem Ozuna has with it is he's been called for strikes a little bit below the zone. So you can't have the zone that damn high and that low. You got to give him something at one end of it. The 1-2. Righty. Kicks and fires. Outside wide. 2-2. Braves nothing, Dodgers nothing. Runner at first, 2 outs. Or 1 out, excuse me. Runner at first and second. 1 out, 2 on, 1 out. The 2-2. Swing. Slices it back. High above first base side. So 2-2 count. Soler at first. Harris at second. The 2-2. Outside wide ball 3-2. So nothing else. We're definitely running this pitch count up. He's at 58 pitches here in the third. The payoff pitch from Buehler. Looks back the runner. In the dirt, ball 4. Ball gets away. The runners will trot up to first. Trot up 90 feet. Ozuna to first. Harris to third. Soler to second. Another wild pitch. Mark Pryor, the pitching coach, is going to come out there and talk to him. Well, they do that. Go ahead and hit the out-of-town scoreboard real quick. Taking a check on the game in Milwaukee. The game in Arizona. Milwaukee has blown that 10-8 lead and is now 10-10, and it looks like they got the bases loaded, so Arizona might hold off and win that game. Tigers 4-2 over the Orioles. These are all finals. Twins over the Reds 9-2. Yankees 5-2 over the Red Sox, pretty much killing the Red Sox playoffs chances. Pirates 4-3 over the Royals. As we're back to the action, first pitch on the way to Big Matt Olson. He's right down the pipe for a strike. It's 0-1. The 0-1, bases loaded, 1 out. Swing, drags that foul down the first base line. 0-2. Nats over the Marlins 4-3 earlier. The Phillies helped out the Braves, beating the Mets 2-1, walk-off fashion. JT Realmuto singled home the run against Diaz in the bottom of the 9th. So another blown save for Diaz. The 0-2 to Olsen, misses high, 94 miles an hour. One and two. The 1-2 to Olsen. 95 inside. We're going to reset this thing again. It looks like it dragged during that. They haven't quite figured that out, but when they go out there and talk to the pitcher, it seems like it drags behind. The 2-2 to Olsen. 95 just misses below the knees. Ball 3-2. Should catch up in a second now. So bases loaded, one out. You got a full count. Matt Olson, who walked his first time up, the payoff pitch. Inside, ball 4. So we'll take a freebie. Harris will come on home, and it's 1-0 Atlanta here in the bottom of the third. Once again, we talked about the fact that the Dodgers have really used that bullpen up. So it's one of the reasons why you don't see them being aggressive and thinking about going to the bullpen so early. But at the same token, they've lost 2 in a row to the Braves, as the Diamondbacks did walk that game off, by the way. So Milwaukee was going for a sweep against Arizona, and I don't know what they did in that game, but I know they used quite a bit of their bullpen in the first 2 games. I'm sure that's why they couldn't hold on. First pitch on the way, cutter, swing and a miss by Travis d'Arnaud. It's 0-1. Travis d'Arnaud hit into a double play his first time up. We do not need that now. Let's get a fly ball, Travis. The 0-1. Swung on, dribbled up the middle. It's going to be a difficult play. Is he safe? So the second baseman, Lux, bobbled the ball. He dishes it over to the shortstop. Edman, they called him out. Have to see it again. Ooh, that is close. I'd like to see that one more time. It looked like Olson's foot hit that bag. So nonetheless, it's 2-0. But we may be getting an out back and putting Matt at first. To the naked eye, it kind of looked like he got the out, but no, they're going to quickly overturn it. First pitch on the way from Arcia. Chops it right in front of the mound. It's going to be an easy put out. 2 down. So to catch you up to speed, the bases are loaded still. They overturned the call at second. So Olson heads down to third. Ozuna was out on the force play. Would have liked to have seen Arcia work their count a little bit. Bases loaded. First pitch on the way to Kelnick. 95 right down the pipe. It's 0-1. Braves lead it 2-0. That's the headlines out of all that. Bases loaded, 2 outs. The 0-1. Swing! That ball's lifted high and deep. Going back on the track. Making the catch at the 375 Georgia power sign to end the inning. Kid Kelnick almost blew this thing wide open. We'll be back in a flash.
Y'all, my therapist asked me what the number one thing is that inspires me to get out of bed every day, and I said it's my bladder.
I worked 10 hours! All I want is great stuff!
That's a little excessive.
I'm CEO of Peggy. I'm starving! What did you eat today? I ate nothing! Nothing!
Could you see where the coach would be upset if the star player is coming in at 2 a.m. and is hungover?
Without question.
You were quoted as saying, "There's only one difference between Otto and me. He likes candy bars and milkshakes. I like women and scotch."
Well, probably wasn't a good thing to say to your head coach.
Armchair.
I can be whatever you want. You just tell me what you want and I'll be that for you.
You're dumb.
I could be that.
You won't let me draft the players I want to play. It's fantasy football, so the Hulk should be able to be on the team.
If you can buy $30K for a car, you can pay $30K for me.
I beg your finest pardon. You said that I should pay $30K for you when the only place you're going to drive me is crazy? Absolutely not. This not even delusional. That's dementia because you done lost your damn mind.
You think about it. What is there in your life, besides your love of family maybe, that carries all the way through from almost your earliest recollections till the day you die, and you care about it in one way or another? There are very, very few things that make that list. We come to things at various times in our lives when we can comprehend them, when we have an interest in them. But we have a child's interest in baseball, in my case from the time I was 5. I can't imagine never having an interest in baseball. So it will be one of the few things in my life that I have cared about in one way or another all the way through.
Welcome back to Braves Country Baseball. Atlanta Braves lead this one 2-0 as we head to the top of the fourth inning. It'll be Freddie Freeman, Teoscar Hernandez, and Tommy Edman, the 3, 4, and 5 hitters. If you missed the game last night, Freddie Freeman batted cleanup. It was the first time in a long time they dropped into the 4th spot against Sale. First pitch to Freeman, misses for a ball, 1-0. The 1-0. Curveball. Chop foul, 1-1. Freddie Freeman walked his first time up. The 1-1 from Charlie. Turns and kicks. Misses just outside wide, curveball, 2-1. Pitch on the way. Curveball right there at the knees on the outer edge. Evens up the count at 2-2. Charlie Morton, his 50th pitch of the night. Swing! Fouls it down the left field line. Just running out of room is Kelnick. Do it again, 2-2. The 2-2. Charlie sets, brings and fires. Swing! That ball's hammered right back to Morton. An atom ball. He'll flip it over to first. One away. Good defensive play by Charlie Morton. Ball was scalded. A one-hopper right into his glove. To the first base side he went. One down. First pitch on the way from Charlie is up top, misses high, 1-0. Teoscar Hernandez, the batter. The 1-0. Righty-righty matchup. Brings it. Inside, 2-0. Changeup missed well inside. So a 2-0 count. Swing. Fouls it back. Same two teams tomorrow night. Max Fried on the mound tomorrow night. The infield is back and to the left. The 2-1 pitch. Swing and a miss. 94 up top. 2-2. It'll be Max Fried versus Yamamoto. Should be a pretty interesting. He's just coming back off the IL. This will be his second start. So I don't know what the pitch limit will be. I think he was around 45, 50 his last rehab start, and then pushed that just past that. As the 2-2 pitch swung on, grounded over to third. Urshela grabs it, fires it over to first. Beats a hustling Hernandez by about a step to away. It's about that time to start turning back time. We'll drop a few in these as we go along. As Tommy Edman comes to the plate. Doubled his first time up. First pitch on the way, outside wide. 1-0. The 1-0. Swing, fouls it back. 1-1. The 1-1 count. 2 down. Pitch on the way. Right there at the knees. Good pitch. Changeup 1-2. On this date in 1902, the trio of Tinker, Evers to Chance completes their first double play in a 6-3 win over Cincinnati at Chicago's West Side grounds. The 1910 baseball poem, Baseball Sad Lexicon, immortalizes the double play combination. Franklin Pierce Adams. The 2-2. Caught, looking strike 3. Four-seam fastball right there on the intercut, and that'll end the inning. So the Braves and Charlie Morton looking good so far. We head to the bottom of the fourth with a 2-run lead.
Harry Potter or Lord of the Rings?
It's the same thing. It's the same thing. It is not. Yeah, there's an old guy with a beard. There's little halflings that run around with sticks and pretend to be magicians. You got one guy that's got a ring and wait, the ring makes them disappear, but the other one's got a blanket. And they run around in the woods, and there's a magical creature that can make them fly.
It's not the.
It's the same thing. How is it not the same thing? Ah!
This portion of the show is being brought to you by Ed's Almost Good Beer. Remember, Ed's Almost Good Beer was brewed in God's country when God wasn't looking.
Oh, wow, I'm pretty sure that's going to be yeah, there it is. Another flag on the play.
Multiple flags on the play. Holding. Offense number 97. That penalty was declined. Touchdown. After the play, unsportsmanlike conduct. Offense number 22. Penalty will be applied to the kickoff.
This is going to be one of the strangest calls.
That son of a...
You playing against Dick this week?
Yeah.
Could be worse, man. When I played against him, he ejected all my players.
What?
Armchair.
Out of room in right center. If he hits one there, we can dance in the streets. The 2-1. Swung line drive left field. One run is in. Here comes Brave. Here's the throw to the plate. He is safe. Braves win. Braves win.
The fundamental reason for the popularity of the game is the fact that it is a national safety valve. A young, ambitious, and growing nation needs to let off steam. Baseball serves the same purpose as a revolution in Central America or a thunderstorm on a hot day. A tonic, an exercise, baseball is second only to death as a leveler. So long as it remains our national game, America will abide no monarchy, and anarchy will be too slow.
Welcome back to Braves Country Baseball. Atlanta Braves lead this one 2-0. We'll grab the bats. Walker Buehler does go back to work. The first pitch on the way. Swing and a miss for a strike. It's 0-1. Righty-righty matchup. The 0-1 swing lifted into left field. Pretty deep, but right on the beat is Tesker Hernandez for a long out number 1. One away, Gio Urshela. That'll bring Whit Merrifield to the box. Charlie Morton with 4 strikeouts through 4 innings. I think we put it in the chat, but I just wanted to clarify. Merrifield, righty-righty. Here's the pitch. Down below the knees. Bender misses low. 1-0. Same 2 teams tomorrow night. We'll be here pitch-by-pitch, play-by-play. Max Fried versus Yamamoto. The 1-0 misses high and inside, 2-0. The 2-0 count. Merrifield, who struck out his first time up. Pitch on the way, 93 up top. Evens it up. Atlanta Braves 2 runs, 2 hits, no errors. Dodgers 1 hit, 1 error. Braves lead it 2-0. The 2-1. Swing and a miss cutter out of the zone. Standing on deck is Michael Harris. He's 0 for 1, but he did work a walk. The 2-2 to Merrifield. Brings it. Swing and a miss, strike 3. 2 away. Merrifield just is not picking up that slider that he's bending him with. Starts on the inner part of the plate and then bends way outside wide. He's just not picking it up. Two down, and Harris comes to the plate. He came in on a bases-loaded walk his first time up after walking himself. Buehler, by the way, 5 walks on the night, 3 strikeouts. The 0-1 swing. That ball's hit hard on the ground right to Freddie Freeman. Freddie flips it over to Buehler, who's covering first, and that'll end the inning. 3 up, 3 down. We head to the 5th. Braves lead it 2-0.
If anyone sees me in a bathing suit this summer, mind your business. I like to eat.
So is cheesecake a cake or a pie?
It's the cheesecake. It's cheesecake.
Obviously, it's a pie. That's why they call it cheesecake, because it's a pie.
That ain't none of them words in that sentence match none of the other ones.
The funny part is, it's neither a cake or a pie. It's a freaking tart.
It is not a tart.
It is a tart.
Not a tart. Crumbled or crust or something that's created into a bowl, and then the filling goes in the top. But not all cheesecakes are made like that.
I've seen the women you date. You would definitely be an expert on what's
all
crusty.
the cheese.
Well, then what is a freaking hot dog?
A hot dog is a taco.
No, it's no. A hot dog
I
is a
rebuke
sandwich.
that.
That is a
There's
sandwich.
bread on 3 sides. If you imagine a cube, so 6 total sides. If there's bread on 3 sides, it's a taco.
Ooh, I love
Unless
Philly
the bread is
cheesesteaks.
completely taken apart. If it's 2 pieces of bread, then it's a sandwich.
Okay, hold
Did you
on.
call a Philly cheesesteak a taco?
Hold on, I got
If the bread
wait.
is still together, like a hoagie, where it's got a hand on it like they do at Subway, those are tacos.
I don't like this. I don't. No.
Okay, so
No.
if I split my hot dog bun all the way down on that backside right there, and then I put the bread on top of the bread, that makes it a sandwich.
Yes.
But if I don't split the bread, the is a taco?
Yes. I don't make the rules, I just make them up as I go along.
Armchair.
There's a lot of wonderful stillness in baseball that I love. Many seconds of stillness. When the pitcher has got the sign, the batter is crouched, the ball players all lean forward with their hands on their knees, and then very shortly the ball is delivered. But in that tiny period when the pitch and the fever of the crowd is tangible, there's a moment of absolute stillness that I treasure.
Welcome back to Braves Country Baseball. See the conversation in the chat about the toughness of Merrifield with the... It ended up being a hairline fracture in his foot, but nonetheless, you know there's some pain there. And thank God for Merrifield, right? We might have panicked again and had Nacho Alvarez playing second base or even worse. First pitch on the way from Freddie Freeman to Max Muncy is swatted down the right field line, but foul. 0-1. The 0-1. Kicks and fires. Outside wide. 1-1. A 1-1 count. Brings it. Swing. That ball's going to get dropped into right field, right in front of Soler. A lot of top spin on that one. No chance for Soler to get it. It bounces about 5 feet in front of him, and it's a leadoff single for L.A. One on, nobody out, and that'll bring Gavin Lux to the plate. Braves 2, Dodgers nothing. Charlie Morton, his 64th pitch of the night, brings it. Curveball outside wide, it's 1-0. Lux, batting .248 on the year. 692 OPS. The curveball misses outside wide. 2-0. Last thing you want to do is start walking the bottom of the order. It does not get easier as you swing back to the top. Austin Barnes stands on deck, Kiermaier in the hole, and then you'll be facing Ohtani, Betts, and Freddie. The 2-0. Swing, chops it foul. Went with the change up on the outer edge. Just got a piece of it. Lux runs pretty well. Looks like, is that Will Smith on the deck? All right, I think Will Smith's on deck. First pitch on the way after that, 2-1 count, is a fastball way out of the zone, 3-1. So they're going to go ahead and bring in Will Smith to bat for Barnes. Is a 3-1, swatted back foul, 3-2. That's an interesting move. You give your catcher the night off, but you go ahead and bring him in. So the 3-2, outside wide ball 4. Now Charlie's really worked himself into a mess. Runners at second, first and second, nobody out. And Will Smith, who is typically their cleanup hitter, is coming to the plate. I was looking at the Dodgers roster, make sure I hadn't missed anybody. That's their only catcher off the bench, unless they've made a move that they have not updated. Will Smith will stay in and catch. So first and second, nobody out. Braves lead it 2-0. Big spot in the game here in the top of the 5th. 70th pitch of the night. Brings it high. 95 miles an hour fastball misses. It's 1-0. The 1-0. Kicks and fires. 95 just grabbed the top of the zone. Smith doesn't like it, but he also remembers he'll be catching the next inning, so he doesn't put up a big fight. 1-1 count. You'd love a double play ball here, but you have decent speed all around. The 1-1 swing. That ball's lifted into right field. Going back on the warning track, making the catch is Soler. He'll fire it into the infield. Muncy moves up to third. Runner at first stays put. You got runners on the corners with one out. Smart play to Soler not to try to. You'll see that from time to time. We'll even see it from Acuna when he's out there and right. Try to show off their arm and try to get a guy at third that they're never going to get. And it allows the runner to move up. So smart play by Soler just to concede the base. Because the tying run stays put at first. That'll bring Kiermaier to the plate. Kiermaier with good speed tries to drag a bunt. The ball was fouled closer to the dugout than it was to the baseline. It's 0-1. Olsen had a beat on it. He was charging, by the way. If that ball is anywhere close to being fair, Olsen's going to snag that for an out, and you might have doubled off somebody. The 0-1 in the dirt. Good block by Travis. He was set up on the outside and had to backhand it and slide behind the batter to keep that ball from going to the backstop. Once again, this would be a perfect time for them to go out there and talk to Charlie, give him a breather, but they're going to let him ride. The 1-1, curveball, swing and a miss, 1-2. So that'll take the threat of the bunt away, or at least it should. The 1-2. Curveball outside, 2-2. Braves 2, Dodgers nothing. Shohei Ohtani looms on deck. You can't really pitch around him because Mookie Betts is in the hole. The 2-2. Swing and a miss, strike 3. Blew a fastball 95 right down the track to away. You talk about bringing the heat. But now Shohei Ohtani shows up, and he represents the go-ahead run. So you got to be careful here. First pitch on the way. Swing, that ball scalded into right field. That is going to get down for a base hit. One run will easily score. We'll see if there's a play at the plate. Throw comes to the plate, but they're going to hold the runner. And you got runners on second and third and 2 outs. Third time through the order, and Shohei Ohtani smoked that fastball by Charlie. He does his little weird sachet up there at second base, and the Dodgers have cut it in half to 2-1. Braves 2, Dodgers 1. First pitch on the way to Mookie Betts is high, and out of the zone, it's 1-0. Charlie can't really pitch around Mookie here with Freddie Freeman on deck. The 1-0. Curveball down and in, 2-0. 2-0 count. Second and third, 2 outs. Braves lead by 1. Go ahead, run in scoring position. The pitch. Way outside wide, 95 miles an hour, 3-0. Freeman on deck. The 2-0 to Mookie. Right down the pipe. Sinker at the knees for a strike. Braves 2, Dodgers 1. The 83rd pitch from Charlie. Swing and a miss. Chased a fastball in the dirt. Full count. Mookie Betts was ready to unload on that. It rung up as a fastball. Really looked more like a sinker. I believe that was a sinker. The payoff pitch, 2 outs. Charlie Morton brings it. Swing, pops it up. High in the sky. Coming in, calling everybody off is Kid Kelnick. He'll make the catch with his silver glove, and that'll end the inning. So the Dodgers cut it in half, but the Braves still cling to a 1-run lead. The heart of the order is coming to the plate.
Talking about one of the greatest pitchers that we just don't talk about enough, Addie Jaw. In his major league debut, he threw a one-hitter, who some believe should have been a no-hitter after a clean catch was ruled a hit. In his rookie season, all he did was win 17 games, have a sub-3 ERA, and lead the league in shutouts. 2 years later, he went 14-10 with a 1.59 ERA. Even more impressive, he didn't allow a home run all season. He won 20 or more games in back-to-back years in 1905 and 1906. In 1907, he won his first 10 starts, threw 2 one-hitters, and had career bests in wins with 27 in innings pitched with 338. Just 1 year later, he reached baseball immortality when he threw the 4th perfect game in baseball history. Even more impressive, he did it with just 74 pitches, the lowest known pitch count ever in a perfect game. In 1910, he became the first pitcher in Major League Baseball history to no-hit the same team twice. Before the start of his next season, his career made a drastic turn. During an exhibition game in Chattanooga, Tennessee, he would collapse on the field. Initial reports thought it may be food poisoning, but his condition quickly worsened. Less than a week later, he was coughing more, which was accompanied by a severe headache. 10 days after his collapse, he would be diagnosed with tuberculosis meningitis. 1 day later, it would spread to his brain, and he passed away at the age of 31. Over his 9-year career, he won 160 games through 234 complete games and had 920 strikeouts. His 1.89 career ERA is the second lowest in baseball history, and his 0.968 career WHIP is the lowest of all time.
Between 1900 and 1910, country boys and immigrant sons and factory workers and streetwise toughs played on thousands of teams in hundreds of leagues from Maine to California. For the first time, big league scouts began to travel the countryside on the lookout for future stars. Sports writers called them ivory hunters. It would be an era that placed a premium on pitching and speed, in which runs were assembled slowly, one base at a time. It would see one pitcher win 41 games in a single season, and the hardest hitting team hit just 16 home runs.
Welcome back to Braves Country Baseball. Atlanta Braves lead this one 2-1. First pitch on the way to Jorge Soler. 93 right there on the inner cut. It's 0-1. The 0-1. Strike on the outer corner. So an 0-2 count from Buehler. Pitch misses outside wide, 1-2. The 1-2, Walker kicks and fires, swing, chops it, high Baltimore chopper. Lux has to wait on it, and Soler's going to beat it out. That's an infield single. Probably a bad idea by Lux. He needed to charge that ball, but he waited for it. By the time he came down, it bought Soler time to get down the first base path. And we know he doesn't run the fastest, but he beat it by about a half step. Good hustle by Jorge. Marcell Ozuna comes to the plate. Righty, first pitch. Swing. That ball's lifted into right field. But coming over, making the easy catch is Mookie. One away. One on, one out. Buehler, 84 pitches. So he's actually gotten his pitch count under control. First pitch to Matt Olson. Bit off the plate, but they call it a strike. It's 0-1. Righty, lefty, runner at first. Man, is Matt Olson due for one? The 0-1. Swing, sliced it foul, 0-2. The 0-2 count. Righty, lefty, the pitch. Swing, did he get a piece of that? He did not. Strike three. Ball bounced off the plate but didn't go very far. So Soler stays put, 2 down. It's unbelievable how we had this guy on the ropes way back in the third inning. And now we're in danger of getting him 2 really quick innings. He might even be out there for the 6th. First pitch to Darnode. Swing. That ball's hammered over to third, but it should be an easy 5-4 put out. It is, and that'll end the inning. So Jorge gets on with the infield single, but 3 up, 3 down later, we head to the 6th, clinging to a 1-run lead.
Hate your life and die on the job. Be a man.
Once a year, there comes a chance for a fresh start. An opportunity to change oneself for the better, and that time is now. So I'm gonna go full throttle, and everyone around me is gonna hear about it. My name is Max, and I'm the most annoying person on January 1st. Oh, starting 2023 hungover? You do you. How were the bars at midnight? I wouldn't know, I wasn't even awake. Yes, the new year is about personal resolutions, but it's also about making other people feel bad. If people don't hear about my resolutions nonstop, what's the point? Everyone always said the gym would be packed on January 1st, but I was like the only one there. I guess it was 5 a.m. You know you really shouldn't be drinking that coffee. It's not good for you. Some might argue that making small, consistent changes over the course of the year would be more efficient than going 0 to 100 arbitrarily on January 1st. But I'll get more attention this way.
Hey, do you have the time?
No.
Could you check your phone?
I'm just doing 5 minutes of screen time a day, so everyone's gonna f***ing hate. I'll give it up on all these by mid-February, but until then, strap in. I'm gonna go write my poem of the day.
I started blasting. Bang! Bang! Well, I don't see so good, so I missed. Then they ran away. I ran after them.
Okay.
Bang! Try to shoot him in the back. But I don't want so good either. Anyway, you guys all think I'm a hero, and I'll accept that responsibility.
I think maybe the biggest appeal of baseball is that it looks so simple, it looks so familiar, and in its outward dimensions, it is still almost exactly the same game that we played when we were kids, or that we first saw with our fathers when we sat in the stands. There is a continuity there that is very attractive to us because so many other institutions that we have known have disappeared or fallen into disarray. Our families, our cities, our politics. But baseball feels the same. It feels very much the same, and I think this is probably its prime attraction.
Braves Country Radio, your home for the classic call of Braves Country Baseball. Welcome back to Braves Country Baseball here on Braves Country Radio. Next Saturday, for you football fans, we are starting a Survivor contest on the show. First pitch on the way to Freddie Freeman is swung on, grounded over to second, backhanded by Merrifield. Good play. Flips it over to first, one away. We'll be starting that Survivor contest on the show that comes on this very station, Cover Country, 8:30 a.m. to 10 a.m. All you have to do is sometime in that show put in your Survivor pick. First pitch on the way is up and in for a strike. It's 0-1. The 0-1. Kicks and fires. Swing, fouls it back 0-2. Winner will be in line for a prize pack. We got a pretty cool Braves Country banner. Excuse me. And cups and other things with the Braves Country on it that we'll send your way. The 0-2. 94 outside. Got him. Strike 3. He got caught watching the paint dry. A backwards K, 2 away. Teoscar Hernandez is pitching a fit, and I've seen people toss for less than that. The home plate umpire, Merzel, is just taking it. The pitch looked like it touched just the out of the zone. Now, he's had some bad calls, and that may really what led to it. I don't think that was the call that got Hernandez ticked off. Is the first pitch on the way to that left-handed bat to Edmond. Misses high. It's 1-0. The 1-0. Swing and a miss. 1-1. So those Survivor picks that'll begin on Saturday's show, you can either put your prediction in the Facebook of Braves Country. Is the pitch on the way, swung on, pops it up high in the sky, making the catch is Kid Kelenic, and that's an easy 1-2-3 inning. So I picked a bad inning to explain all that. We'll be back in a flash here on Braves Country.
Okay, first of all, I didn't miss the red flags. I looked at them and thought, damn, that's sexy. And that's my problem.
Are you an adult? Yeah. And it's almost winter? Yeah. Introducing Being Kinda Sick. What's that? You thought winter would be full of holiday spirit and joy, but instead you're just kinda sick for months straight and can't figure out why. Am I sick or am I not sick? I don't get it. Neither. You're kinda sick. What? With Being Kinda Sick, you can be slightly congested all the time, have a cough that comes and goes, and randomly have a sore throat for no reason. And don't forget to have your excuse ready. Dude, are you sick? No, I think it's just the season change. Please get away from me. I don't know what's going on. I'm not fully sick, but I don't really feel good either. I guess my body's finally falling apart. Try it today.
Hitting is not about muscle. It's simple physics. Calculate the velocity v in relation to the trajectory t, in which g, gravity, of course, remains a constant. It's not complicated.
Now, who are you again?
Assistant to the traveling secretary.
You're the guy who put us in that Ramada in Milwaukee.
You want to talk about hotels? You want to win some ball games?
Hey, we won the World Series.
In 6 games.
This helpful instructional message from the National Association of People Who Have Trouble Walking and Chewing Gum at the same time. Step, chew. Step, chew. Step, chew. Step, chew.
Judge Kennesaw Mountain Landis was brought in as an authority figure, someone who looked the part. That's great granite face, shock of white hair. Looked like Jupiter in a very bad mood.
Born in Millville, Ohio, Landis was named for the Civil War battlefield on which his father had lost his leg. As a judge, he had once sentenced an aging bank robber to 15 years in jail. Your Honor, the man said, I'm 72 years old. I can't serve that long. Landis replied, well, do the best you can.
Welcome back to Braves Country Baseball. Atlanta Braves, bottom of the 6th we go. It's that Survivor contest. You just go in and name a team that you think is going to win that day if you haven't played Survivor before. And as long as you keep winning, you stay in the contest. First pitch on the way to Orlando Arcia is chopped over to short. It's going to be a 6-3 putout, one away. If you continue to get a right answer every week, you continue in the pool until somebody wins. You can put it in the Facebook comments or here on Braves Country Radio on YouTube, both Braves Country Radio, YouTube and Facebook. First pitch on the way to Kelenic is right down the pipe. It's 0-1. And you can win the Braves Country prize pack. Once you pick a team, you can't pick them again. So that's the only strategy to the whole thing. The 0-1 up top. Looked like it missed, but got called for a high wide. That is really high. It's not indicative where it's showing on that monitor. It was a little higher than that. The 0-2 in the dirt. 1-2. 1-2 count. The pitch from Buehler, 95 misses high, 2-2. So it looks like he got payback on that one because that one was closer to the zone than the first one that he called high for a strike. The 2-2 to Kelenic. Swing, chops it off the plate. Jared Kelenic batting .230 with 15 home runs, 7 stolen bases, 44 RBI. He was the 6th pick in the first round, I should say, by the Mets in 2018. Spent the last several years with Seattle. He's never lived up to the top billing, but he's given a decent season to the Braves. And with all the injuries, I don't know where they'd be. The 2-2. Caught looking, strike 3. Got to swing the bat at that one. 2 away. That definitely hit the zone. Not everything can be the umpire's fault every time. I mean, that definitely hit the plate, just like the Teoscar Hernandez. First pitch on the way to Gio Urshela. It's a sweeper on the outer cut. It's on 1. Urshela 0 for 2 on the night. 97th pitch by Walker. Swing, the ball's chopped back over the mound. Coming and grabbing it is Lux. He'll flip it to first, and it's an easy 1-2-3 inning for Buehler. So he really got taken to the woodshed in the third, but he absolutely shut the Braves down since.
People have asked me if I loved him. To be clear, he and I were not in love. I was just honestly very drunk, and probably in a more general sense at that time in my life, very bored.
Look, you and your mom have a bad history, and neither of you can nurture the other's self-esteem because you've both been damaged by past criticism and shame. Are you okay? I'm working half days, so I watch a lot of Donahue.
Let me tell y'all something. I don't know who needs to hear this, but I should have had kids. You know why? It's 6:30. I'm hungry as hell, and the meat is still frozen. I forgot to take it out the freezer, and I ain't got nobody to be mad at but myself, okay? Now, if I had a kid, I would have had somebody to blame. I can't be wrong. I'm the only woman in this house. I got to put it on somebody. It's either the man or the kid. I ain't got neither one of them, and I'm just out here meatless. And meat just frozen. And so what I'm supposed to eat for dinner now, huh? A nap? I'm just going to have slumber for supper? Is that what's happening over here now? Just gonna have a deep sleep for dinner, huh? That's what's on the menu today? God, I'm hungry. It ain't nowhere near to being defrosted. Well, I'm just supposed to take chunks of it like it's a popsicle? Ghetto.
Hey, Braves Country, this is Mac Magee with Braves Country Radio. We are bringing you pitch by pitch, play-by-play of your Atlanta Braves all year long. Please like and subscribe today. It's free, and it helps us bring you more of the game we all love. Braves Country Radio, your home for the classic call of Braves Country Baseball. Welcome back to Braves Country Baseball. Atlanta Braves, the 1-run lead. Here as we go to the top of the 7th inning. Looks like we're going to go to the left-handed arm of Dylan Lee. Dylan Lee, first pitch on the way to Muncy. 94 up top. It's 0-1. Dylan Lee. 183 ERA. The 0-1. Swing pops it up high in the sky into left field. Camping underneath it is Kid Kelnick. He'll make the catch. 1 away. Lee, 30 years old now, from Dinuba, California. He was drafted by the Marlins back in 2016 out of Fresno State. He's been with the Braves since 2021. Remember, he was actually a big part of that postseason where he had to come in and spell the Braves rotation. We knew very little of who Dylan Lee was at the time. Remember him and Tucker Davidson. Lefty-righty matchup. First pitch on the way now is right there at the knees to Enrique Hernandez. It's 0-1. Not sure what the giant catcher is doing on the screen, so we will switch that out here. I have no idea what that was. The 0-1. Lefty-righty. Enrique Hernandez in for Gavin Lux. Swing and a miss. 94 up top. 0-2. 0-2 count. Braves 2, Dodgers 1. Standing on deck is Will Smith. The 0-2. Lee brings it. Down and away. Changeup taken all the way, 1-2. Same two teams at it tomorrow night. 7:20 first pitch. We'll have the game right here on Braves Country Radio. Max Fried versus Yamamoto. That ought to be a fun one. The 1-2. Up and out over the plate. Off the plate, 2-2. The 2-2 from Lee. Up, time is called. Not sure what home plate umpire. He's going to call a time violation on Lee. So that's going to be an automatic ball, which will now make it a full count. Braves don't keep the pitch clock where you can see it from behind the pitcher's mound, so I'll just have to take their word for it. Some teams actually have it right behind, but most of them have hidden it. The payoff pitch from Lee. 95. Caught, looking, strike 3. He got caught watching the paint dry. Kike does not like it. Puts his hands over his head, aghast. Go sit down, 2 away. That one may have been a touch off the plate, but hey, he's been calling these all night long. So the idea that the Dodgers are somehow the victims, we've both gotten hosed on both sides. First pitch on the way, 94 off the plate. It's 1-0. Little surprised we haven't heard from Dave Roberts. He's usually quick to argue with the umpires. The 1-0. Right below the knees, 2-0. Will Smith came in for Austin Barnes. Pinch hitting role. Last time around, he stayed in as the hind catcher. Typically, they're cleanup hitters, so don't let the spot in the order fool you. The 2-0, down and away, 3-0. 3-0 count. Will Smith batting .246 on the year, 18 home runs, 70 RBI, a 750 OPS. The 3-0 pitch. P at the knees, 93 miles an hour. 3-1. In a perfect world, the Braves would have Lee to Jimenez to Iglesias. The 3-1 swing and a miss up top, 3-2. So a full count now. Lee a strikeout away from getting out of this inning. The payoff pitch. 2 outs here in the top of the 7th. Brings it. Swing, pops it up. Back behind home plate. We'll do it again. The Dodgers have announced, by the way, is if you're seeing on your screen, that Kershaw is trying to work his way back from yet another injury. Tyler Glasnow is being shut down for the season. The payoff pitch. Lee. Time is called. Did he get another? He got another violation. So it'll be an automatic walk. I don't know what Lee's doing. He's looking over at the dugout, like getting just, I don't know what he's doing. Halfway falling asleep or something. They're showing the replay of the clock right now. And there's just no sense of urgency to let go of the ball. I don't know what he was doing. You'd think the way he's acting, you would think that he is, and Abreu's going out there to talk to him, but you would think that there's someone standing at first that he's trying to deke into whether he's going over there or not. But there was no one on the base, and he did it twice. The first time that he got the ball called on him, same exact thing, where he lifts the glove really slow, pauses, and I don't know what he's staring at, but he's looking over in the distance and losing track of the clock. That was the whole point of why by now, the pitchers have to have been caught up. They've been doing this long enough. Can't blame anybody but yourself on that one. So Alan Paez is going to come on to bat for Kiermaier. Lefty-righty matchup, first pitch swing. That ball's going to get lifted in left field, and now you got big trouble. So screwing around and not realizing how much time was on the time clock, Paez gets a base hit, and you've got first and second, 2 outs. You should be out of this inning in all likelihood, but instead, and I guarantee he hasn't let it go, and now you got runners on first and second, and Shohei Ohtani coming to the plate. Last time up, he scorched one down the right field line. Tying run at second, go ahead run at first. The game right now is at the plate. First pitch, swing and a miss, 94 up top. It's 0-1. The 0-1, lefty. Lee looking back, swing and a miss, 0-2. So an 0-2 count. Lee comes set, looks back the runner, pitch on the way, swung on, and that ball's going to get dropped into right field. That's going to tie the game. Runners at second and third, another double by Ohtani, and it's 2-2 here in the seventh. Ohtani does the LA sachet at second, and the game has been tied up with Mookie Betts coming to the plate. So Lee, who's been so good for so long this year, it was the mental part of the game that broke him down in this one. Not paying attention to that time clock. 2 strikes on on Ohtani, and Lee hung a slider. Darnode was set well off the plate trying to get him to chase, but instead he hangs one. And he's probably lucky that the game is still tied. We're going to take a quick break. The bullpen doors are opening. I believe it's Jimenez. We'll be back in a flash here on Braves Country. Welcome back to Braves Country Radio. Braves Country Baseball, Sunday Night Baseball. Braves and Dodgers are tied at 2 apiece. As we'll have the exit of Dylan Lee, and coming into the game will be Jimenez. Jimenez, righty-righty matchup. First pitch on the way. Swing. That ball's lifted high into center field. Going back on the track. Making the catch is Michael the Hawk Harris to end the inning. So the Braves and Dodgers are still tied at 2. We head to the bottom of the 7th. Get up and stretch, Braves country.
All right, I can't see you. Let me hear you. All one, a two, a three. We out to the ball game. We out to the find me something up, scratch the jack. I don't care if I have to get back going through.
Welcome back to Braves Country Baseball. Atlanta Braves, LA Dodgers tied at 2 apiece. As we head to the bottom of the 7th inning, Atlanta, 2 runs, 3 hits, no errors. Dodgers, 2 runs, 5 hits, 1 error. Braves jumped out at a 2-0 lead in the 3rd. They gave up 1 in the 5th and 1 in the 7th. Both RBI doubles to Shohei Ohtani. Leading off here in the bottom of the 7th inning will be Whit Merrifield, followed by Harris and Soler. So the Braves looking to get back on top. They got the guys coming to the plate to do it. Braves won the first 2 games of this series. Tomorrow night, 7:20 first pitch, back to our normal time. It'll be Max Fried versus Yamamoto. Merrifield, who has struck out swinging his first 2 times up, he will face Blake Trinan as Buehler is done for the game. Close the books on Buehler. 6 innings, 3 hits allowed, 1 earned run, 5 walks, which is really his undoing. But he calmed back down and really kept the Braves in check and allowed the Dodgers offense to get him back in the ball game. Blake Trinan comes on with a 2.27 ERA. He has been a closer in the past. 30% strikeout rate, so a tough customer. Walking at just 8%. Or, yeah. Those were almost mirror images, the 2 doubles by Ohtani. He's 2 for 4 now with 2 RBIs. Whit Merrifield will lead us off now after an extended 7th inning stretch. First pitch on the way to Merrifield. Righty-righty matchup. Blake Trinan brings it. Chops it foul. It's 0-1. The 0-1. Kicks and fires. 85-mile-an-hour sweeper just outside, 1-1. Braves 2, Dodgers 2, bottom of the 7th inning. The 1-1 on the way. Training kicks and fires, 96. Paints the outer edge, 1-2. Whit Merrifield 0 for 2 on the night. Standing on deck is Harris, who is 0 for 2, the 1-2. Outside wide. Evens up the count, 2-2. Harris has worked his way aboard via the walk. Soler, who follows him, is 1 for 2 with the run scored. Harris and Soler, the only 2 runs by the Braves. The 2-2. Swing, that ball's dribbled up the middle. It's going to be an easy 6-3 put out. 1 away. One down, and Michael Harris, the second. Stands in. Harris has the infield back into the right, but the third baseman is standing on the grass. First pitch on the way is right there for a strike. It's 0-1. Max Muncy defending against a possible bunt. The 0-1. Swing, pops it back foul. 0-2. If he could hit it hard on the left side of the infield with Muncy's glove, he's got a really good chance of getting it by him. The 0-2 count. Kicks and fires inside. Sweeper, 85 miles an hour, well inside. Came dangerously close to the back leg of Harris. The 1-2. Inside, 96, misses well. High and in. Evens up the count, 2-2. Braves 2, Dodgers 2, bottom of the 7th inning. The pitch. Swung on, chopped over towards first. Should be an easy ground out to first. G3 in your scorecard as Freddie steps on the bag, 2 away. So 2 quick outs. Jorge Soler, the batter. Soler 1 for 2. The first pitch on the way. 85 just below the knees. 1-0. Freddie Freeman will be leading off the Dodgers in the next inning. The 1-0. Swung on, grounded over to short. Once again, played by Edman. He'll flip it to first, and it's another 1-2-3. We head to the top of the 8th. Braves, Dodgers, 2-2 here in Atlanta.
When I think about you, I touch myself, meaning I rub my temples because you give me a headache.
We don't want a maniac in our group, but there's no benefit to it. I feel like you just agreed with me, but you weren't listening to what I was saying. Yes. Let's move on from it. What do you think is happening right now? It doesn't matter. It's good. Okay?
This Mr. Nueva York?
Yeah, that's me. What you matter?
Yeah, I'm calling regarding your credit card payment.
Listen, my friend, I'm not paying that.
What do you mean you're not paying?
I'm not paying that. That's free money. How you want me to pay that free money?
That's not free money.
Yeah, you send me the credit card with $3,000 and I spend it already. How you want me to pay you that money I already spending? Stupid.
You have to pay. Have you paid last month?
I not pay last month. I not pay the month before that. I'm not paying.
Listen, we're gonna have to do something about this.
You can do whatever you want. I don't care. Listen, can you give me your house phone number so I can call you in your house?
I'm sorry.
Oh, ahí no te gusta. So why you calling me in my house to bother me? My friend, is that your money? Is it going to your pocket?
Listen. We have to make this happen right now.
I don't care. Do whatever you want.
Armchair.
The umpire just stood up and said goodbye. As I am saying goodbye, I have said enough for a lifetime, and for the last time, I wish you all a very pleasant good afternoon.
A travesty, really. But it came out that Arnie Rothstein and the rest of them were crooked gamblers and were able to persuade the boys to throw the games, even though some of them, I guess, never got a dime. And they weren't crooks. They weren't farm boys who didn't know anything about finance or anything else.
Baseball is something more than a game to an American boy. It is his training field for life work. Destroy his faith in its squareness and honesty, and you have destroyed something more. You have planted suspicion of all things in his heart. Kennesaw Mountain Landis.
Welcome back to Braves Country Baseball. Freddie Freeman coming to the plate. Freddie Freeman from Orange County, California, drafted by the Braves back in 2007 in the second round. First pitch on the way to Freddie, swung on. That ball is belted deep into right field. Going back at the very back of the warning track is Jorge Soler for a loud out, number one. Wow. Jimenez, we've talked about this before. He has not fared well when he has an up-down, meaning he starts his outing at the back end of one inning and then comes back out for the next, but we'll see how he fares here. First pitch on the way to Hernandez. Looked like a strike, didn't get the call. Slider, I was going to say, is low. 1-0. The 1-0. Outside wide. 2-0. So a 2-0 count, misses high and out of the zone, 3-0. The 3-0 from Jimenez. Ball four. So once again, I'm not sure how I'm the only one who has noticed this, but the Braves brass have not noticed the fact that Jimenez does not fare well when he comes back out after an up-down. It's been like that all year long. And I get why they were going to Jimenez in that eighth inning, but I think sometimes you just have to bring someone else out for the next. First pitch on the way, swung on. That ball's hit high and deep into right center field. Calling off Soler is Harris. 2 away. Edmund just missed that one, just got underneath it. The 2 down. Max Muncy, now the batter. First pitch on the way is down and in. Misses for a ball. It's 1-0. Lefty-righty matchup, or righty-lefty matchup, I should say. Muncy's 1 for 3. He has scored a run. Runner at first, 2 outs. The pitch. 84 inside. Slider. 1-1. Muncy, 14 home runs on the year. He spent quite a bit of time on the IL, so you have to be worried about his power. The 1-1. Bender misses well inside, 2-1. Two-one count. On deck is Kike Hernandez, who stayed in to play second base for Lux. In the hole, Smith, who stayed in to play catcher for Barnes. The 2-1 pitch. 86 miles an hour, misses inside. 3-1. So Jimenez, he's only thrown 11 pitches, but once again, his control is way off after the up-down. The 3-1. Time is called by Muncy. He'll step out of the box for a second. Three-one count. Jimenez back to work. Swing! That ball's hammered down the first base line, but foul. Towards the Braves dugout. It ricocheted. Didn't get in there. That ball was smoked. He must have been sitting dead red on that slider because he hammered it. Man, that was very close. Who was standing over there? Is that... I think that was Eddie Perez that had to duck for his life. The payoff pitch. Swing and a miss, strike three. So he gets out of the jam, and that'll end the inning. We'll head to the bottom of the eighth. The Braves need a run. Let's get up. Let's get some runs, Braves country, so we can unleash eyeglasses.
I like coffee and maybe 3 people.
Hey, Braves country, I'm Mac Magee. Join us for Pitch by Pitch, Play by Play, the classic call of Braves country baseball. We're bringing you Atlanta Braves baseball all year long. Jump into our pregame show, Braves Country Today, just before first pitch. Stick around for the postgame show, Braves Country Tonight, where we will open up the phone lines and react to your calls or your comments all year long. That's Braves Country Radio, pitch by pitch, play by play, your home for the classic call of Braves Country Baseball.
Oh, yeah, I know Bill Brasky. Sure, he's the father of every one of my children. He's a son of a...
To Bill Brasky!
Bill Brasky! Yeah!
I am not going to give up that easy. I'm going to make this way harder than it needs to be.
From now on, no more easygoing, devil-may-care, everybody's best friend dad. I'm cracking down, and I'm cracking down hard. Starting right now, fun time is over.
So where was I for fun time? His livelihood was taken away after the 1920 season, and with it, really, his life. He lived another 30 years, but not very happily.
Joe Jackson played outlaw baseball in South Georgia for a time, then ran a liquor store in Greenville, South Carolina. Ty Cobb once came in for a fifth of bourbon. Jackson did not seem to recognize his old rival. Cobb finally asked, "Don't you know me, Joe?" "Sure, I know you, Ty," Jackson answered. "I just didn't think anyone I used to know up there wanted to recognize me again."
Welcome back to Braves Country Baseball. Braves can wave the sweat off their brow as we head to the bottom of the eighth inning. Due up for the Braves. You'll have the 3, 4, and 5 hitters. Ozuna, Olsen, and Darnode. First pitch on the way. 96 misses below the knees. It's 1-0. New pitcher to introduce for the LA Dodgers. The 1-0. In the dirt. Bounces it up. 2-0. Michael Kepik. We've actually seen him. We saw him back when he was with the White Sox. He came over around the trade deadline. The 2-0. Swing, swats it back foul. 2-1. He had been a starter / closer, but in his role here for the Dodgers has been more of a setup role. One of the many live arms the Dodgers do have in that bullpen. The 2-1 pitch. Down and away. 3-1. Kepik with a 3.65 ERA and a 1.15 whip. 81 strikeouts in 62 innings. The 3-1. In the dirt, ball 4. So Marcell Ozuna works his way aboard. See if they may pinch run for Marcell. You don't love the idea with the game being tied here in the 8th. But there is a possibility he doesn't come back up to bat. And that's exactly what they're going to do. Eli White is going to come on to pinch run. And you'd think if he does come around to score, they would take Soler out and either have Laureano or Duvall out there in right field for the 9th. If not, Soler will stay in the game. You would think. Matt Olson digs in. Righty-lefty matchup. First pitch on the way. Down below the knees. 96-mile-an-hour fastball misses. It's 1-0. The 1-0. Kicks and fires. Swing! That ball's belted high and deep into right field. That ball's going to go off the wall. That's going to get down where the green grass grows. Here comes Matt Olson trucking into second. It's a double. They're going to hold Eli. That's a two-y special there. I'm telling you right now. Tuiasosopo holds up Eli. I think there's a very good chance if Wash was still playing third, they're going to bring him around. It was a good relay by Betts, don't get me wrong, but Eli's got elite speed. I'd like to see another angle on that, see where he was when the ball was coming back into the infield. But nonetheless, Eli at third, Olson at first, runners at second and third. Nobody out. And Travis d'Arnaud, the batter. Standing on deck is Arcia. 387-foot bullet off the wall. Righty-righty matchup. First pitch on the way, 101 miles an hour at the knees. It's 0-1. Yelton was complaining about the ESPN broadcast. That's the whole reason why we're here, Yelton. Try to keep up. The 0-1, down in the dirt, 1-1. That was the main reason why we took Sunday and we didn't do Saturday, was because the backlash we've gotten several times from people who just despise the ESPN coverage. And I'll tell you what, I don't love calling the ESPN games because their cameras are always fixated on the wrong thing. Four-seam fastball to Travis d'Arnaud is swatted back foul, 100 miles an hour again. It's 1-2, trying to set up a strikeout there. Runners at second and third. Nobody out. Righty-righty matchup. The infield drawn in. The 1-2. Swing. Swatted it back foul. Do it again. Just got to make sure you don't strike out here if you're Travis. Anything else would be acceptable. The infield, it's not quite all the way in, but it's a little more than halfway in. The 1-2. Down and away, 2-2. You got great speed at third. So if he makes little contact and rolls one, White could score with ease. Only thing that would stop him would be a strikeout or a bullet right at somebody. The 2-2. Up high, ball 3-2. 100 miles an hour up around the dome. Full count. Braves 2, Dodgers 2. Second and third, nobody out. The payoff pitch from Kepik. Swing, pops it back. Probably chase ball 4, but that ball coming at you that fast, a little hard to hold up on that one. He pretty much leans on the fastball and the slider. He does have a cutter. Fastball up around triple digits. The cutter and the slider around 90. The payoff pitch brings it. Swing! That ball's belted high, not very deep. Coming in, making the catch in very shallow left field is Hernandez, one away. That ball just did not get enough carry on. He got underneath it. Man, usually anything that gets lifted out in the outfield is going to score Eli, but no chance there. He would have been dead meat. So Orlando Arcia now the batter. First pitch on the way. Slider misses. It's 1-0. The 1-0 infield is in. They're almost touching the grass at this point. The 1-0. Swing and a miss. 101 miles an hour. No chance at that one, 1-1. You do wonder if they thought about pinch hitting for Arcia here. I mean, hopefully he gets into one, but it just feels like he's going to be outmatched in this. The 1-1 misses high, 2-1. Standing on deck is Kelnick. Urshela is in the hole. The 2-1 count. Infield drawn in. The pitch. Swing and a miss. Blew it right by him again. 2-2. If you're Keping, I don't know why you throw him anything but the high cheese. He cannot lay off it, and he has not even come close to hitting it. That ball's in Smith's glove before he ever follows through. You got to shorten up your swing. The 2-2. Swing and a miss, strike through, blew it right by him. Outclassed all the way to away. So once again, Tui not sending Eli on that play, it's an encasing of what he has done all year long. They have got to get rid of him at third base because he has no instinct for when to send a runner. You see where you're at in the order as Jerry Kelnick comes up with 2 outs, first pitch on the way, swung on, foul back, it's 0-1. You know who's coming up in the lineup, and I get it, Darnode was there, but after that, if he doesn't come through, Arcia, I mean, he is not, he can hit a fastball, but he's not hitting a high cheese fastball, which is where he's been living. The 0-1. Kicks and fires. Swing and a miss, 0-2. So no 2 count. Righty, lefty. The pitch. Swing and a miss, strike 3. Blew it right by him. That'll end the inning. Braves put 2 on. Tui does not send the runner, and it cost Atlanta. We'll be back in a flash.
Just a reminder that it costs $0 to be nice. How much, what is it to be an I can Venmo you. That's not the point. It's free, isn't it? You're so stupid.
Do you know why I pulled you over? Because I was at the stop sign for too long? Why was you just sitting there? I was just waiting for it to turn green. Where you headed? I'm at home. Okay, where you live? With my parents. Okay, and where do your parents live? They live with me. Okay, so where's your house? It's next to my neighbor's house. Step out the car, please. I'm going to jail.
This portion of the show is being brought to you by The Best Things in Life, which are still free with minimum purchase at participating dealers.
And what do we say when somebody says, hey, let's be friends? Ha! Okay, but just so you know, I'm freaking weird. I'm weird all day, every day, whether I like it or not. Okay, I wouldn't start with that.
The day after the Black Sox were acquitted, Judge Landis barred all 8 players for life. None of them ever played Major League Baseball again. Judge Landis and the club owners had done their best to reassure the public that the game's honesty had been restored, but fans remained skeptical. Something or someone else was needed to revive their shattered faith.
But I tell you what, here comes a guy with big, broad shoulders and skinny legs, and he could hit that ball out of the ballpark. See, a lot of people had stopped going to baseball, and here comes Babe Ruth. Babe Ruth started hitting that ball out the ballpark and then brought him back.
Thank you for listening, liking, and subscribing to Braves Country Radio, your home for the classic call of Braves Country Baseball.
Swung line drive left field. One run is in. Here comes Brave. Here's the throw to the plate. He is safe. Braves win. Braves win. Braves win.
Welcome back to Braves Country Baseball. Braves squandered a golden opportunity. Eyeglasses comes on. First pitch on the way. P at the knees to Hernandez. It's 0-1. I mean, they have got to do something about the third base coach. It's what's really disheartening is the 0-1 swing and a miss 0-2. They won't do it this late in the season, so we're stuck with him at third, but they've got to get rid of him by next year. I mean, he is just awful. The 0-2, swing and a miss, strike three. One away. You don't pinch run for Marcell Ozuna, take his bat out of the lineup to put Eli White in to have him go essentially station to station on that play. Ozuna's standing at third on that hit. One down, first pitch on the way, swung on and lifted high and deep, going back on the track. Is it gone? It's gone. Dodgers take a one. Did it stay in? Okay, that's confusing. Is it not a home run, or are they calling it? He's standing on third. The ball hit the top of the bricks. I thought it ricocheted. Maybe it didn't leave. It hit the top of the bricks in right field. I thought it had ricocheted. That is, I guess it was the backspin that took it back into the building, into the field of play. I'd say they're going to have a look at this. They are. They're taking a look at it. Trying to see the... Unless they have a camera on the side angle, I don't know. Was they're replaying it and slowing it down. Here comes the play. And the call is confirmed. He'll be a triple. Wow. I don't think I've ever seen that. The ball hit the top of the wall and spun back into the outfield. And luckily for the Dodgers, Will Smith continued to run it out, and he's at third. So runner at third, one out. First pitch on the way, swung on, chopped back to the mound. Iglesias has it, fires it to first, and it's a one-pitch atom ball, two away. The infield was drawn in. They can now move back. As Paez they're going to go ahead and walk Ohtani to get to Mookie Betts. Not really. It's one of those pick your poison type things. But they're going to walk Ohtani, runners on the corners. This was earlier in the game. You take your chances, but with it being the 9th inning and knowing how important it is to stay tied going into the bottom of the 9th. So runners at the corners, 2 outs. Iglesias, by the way, just 5 pitches. Number 6 is way outside wide. It's 1-0. The 1-0. Righty. Pitch on the way. Swing. That ball slapped back foul. 1-1. Gio Urshela would be due up in the 9th, followed by Merrifield. That's assuming they don't do any kind of pinch hitting. The 1-1 swung on, grounded up the middle. That'll put the Dodgers on top. It's 3-2. And Mookie Betts gets an RBI single here in the 9th. Once again, that Tui, just unbelievable. And I know they won't ask the questions. They'll never ask the questions post game because they don't. That's just not how the Braves media is. But you got to ask him, if you're doing your job, what in the world are you thinking when you've got one of the fastest guys in baseball? The ball's going off the wall. When I looked at the replay on that at the break, Eli was at third base about to make the turn as the first pitch on the way to Freddie is down below the knees, 1-0. He was about to make the turn as the ball was heading towards the cutoff man. He would have been safe easily with his speed. Unless he face plants, we would have had the lead. The 1-0 chops it over to third. That's going to get through the infield. Another run will score. And the Atlanta Braves, oh my God, Chid Kelnick put an error on his butt tonight. It's 5-2 LA. The ball goes underneath the glove of Kelnick, and the Dodgers have taken a 5-2 lead. What in God's name was that? He was coming up ready to fire, and what would have been, there was no way that they were going to get the runner. There was no way that they were going to get Ohtani. So he's coming up trying to play hero ball and did not keep his eye on the ball. He cost the Braves a run, and that is probably going to be a death nail unless we have a heck of a comeback. First pitch on the way, the slider swung on and fouled back. It's 0-1. You said it right, swipe left. I won't repeat that because we're on radio, but there's no other better way to describe that. Good Lord. Slider misses down and away, 1-1. So 1-1 count. Freeman now at second. The pitch on the way. Swing and a miss up top, 4-seam fastball. 1-2. Freddie Freeman with his first base hit. It'll also be an error on Kelnick. Freeman was given an RBI, but will not get both of them because the other one reached on the error. 2-2 count to Freeman after the missed pitch. Iglesias, 14 pitches in. You want to get him out of this now because the 2-2 swing, that ball's belted into left field. Is that going to stay in or is that gone? That's gone. 7-2 your score now, and the Dodgers do their LA sachet as they go around the bases. You talk about the wheels falling off here in the 9th. That's it. Unless the Dodgers implode like this. Yeah, we knew as soon as we fell behind, Wilson was going to dip. So 7-2 your score. bullpen just absolutely imploded. They're going to go get Iglesias now as see who they got coming into the bullpen, but there's 2 outs. I mean, I would say this is Luke Jackson type territory. That they haven't announced the pitcher yet, but they may not have had him up because that unraveled so quickly. The idea that you know who you're going to go get, I think they're just trying to keep. It's going to be Brebbia. Okay, that makes sense. Brebbia is going to come in with his 5.7 ERA. He's actually pitched fairly well since he come over to Atlanta, and he was a good reliever until late last year, early this year. He had some solid numbers when he was in San Francisco. Braves trail 7-2. If you're just joining us, it all fell apart in this inning. 5 runs by the Dodgers. The big question you would have to ask yourself is who the Dodgers come in now with a 5-run lead. Will they give us an opportunity to get back in this one? Do they go to one of their back-end bullpen guys, or do they just try to slam the door after a 2-game losing streak here in Atlanta? You would think if you're being aggressive, and they still have a lot to play for, they're trying to fight off the Phillies as the two of them are neck and neck for best record. But the Dodgers, their bullpen, they've got a couple of guys that they could go to. We just saw Hudson a couple of nights ago. And Phillips typically gets a lot of closing opportunities, but they may want to save him with a 5-run lead. We'll have to see what happens as Brebbia doing his final warm-up tosses. First pitch on the way, swung on. That ball's belted into right field. That ball's gone. Good night, Irene. It's 8-2. Tommy Edman, just his 5th home run of the year. Brebbia here just trying to get one more out. I mean, good Lord. Can I go to bed? This is turned into a dumpster fire here in the 9th inning. 6 runs now. First pitch on the way from Brebbia on this at bat. Muncy is up high for a strike. I think that's an 8-2 strike in the 9th inning. It's 0-1. The 0-1 down and in. 1-1. Well, the good news is the Mets lost, so we'll still be tied with the wild card. The bad news is Arizona won, so we're going to lose a game there. The 1-1 swung on, foul back. 1-2. That's assuming the Braves don't have what would be, we haven't had one of those this year. We really haven't had one of the, and the Braves normally do a couple every year. We have not had a come from behind, big time 9th inning type of victory like we had in years past. Pitch up top, 2-2. 2-2 count. Down below the knees, ball 3-2. A lot of it's got to do with just how bad this offense has been, but it's been a tick better last few nights. The payoff pitch, swung on, belted high and deep. Is this going to stay in? It will not. Another home run. So Brebbia is just out there throwing batting practice at this point. They can send him back to Chicago for all the fans in Braves country care. Kid out there with an Ozzie Albies jersey caught the ball. He's a youngster, so hopefully no one tries to bait him into throwing it back into the outfield. Something he'll remember his entire life. I mean, that was just a hanger on the out. He went and got that on the outside part of the plate. So 2 down once again. An 0-1 pitch is swatted back foul. 4-seam fastball, it's 0-2. The 0-2. Righty. Kicks and fires, swing and a miss, strike 3. And that inning is finally over. But not before the Dodgers put 7 on the board. We need a touchdown to send this to extras. Go for 2 for the win when we come back.
I might be poor, I might be dumb as but I got tattoos and I feel cute sometimes.
Why did you get so drunk?
You got drunk. I'm just really exhausted.
What's in that cup?
Rum and Cokes.
Do you have any idea how important this is? I'm trying to save the pub cup. Really? This is what you're doing? This is what you're doing?
So, I tried to act normal today. Yep. It was the worst minute of my life!
Is it November?
Yeah.
And things are going well?
Yeah.
Introducing Daylight Savings.
What's that?
Daylight Savings Time was created to confuse you and make you more depressed than you already were.
Wow, it's dark out. It must be getting late. Wow, it's dark out. It must be 3:30.
When Daylight Savings ends, you can leave for work when it's dark out, sit inside all day, and get home from work when it's dark out.
Yeah, that sounds really bad.
Now you get it.
Summer was great. I'd hang out with my friends laughing in the sun until 9 p.m. And now some days I don't even see the sun, which is not good.
Try it today.
I don't have a choice.
Go ahead and paint me red and black and call me Jumper Cables, baby, because I'm finna start some today.
At the turn of the century, Major League veterans often refused even to speak to new players. Once, early in his career, a shy young outfielder dared compliment a New York Giant for hitting a home run. "Nice hit," he said. The veteran answered, "Go to hell." The young player was Honus Wagner, on his way to becoming the greatest player in the National League.
Please like and subscribe today. It's free, and it helps us bring you more. Braves Country Radio, your home for the classic call of Braves Country Baseball. Welcome back to Braves Country Baseball. Braves, Dodgers, it's 9-2 now. If you're just joining us, it was 2-2 as a pitcher's duel until all of a sudden the wheels fell off, along with errors and other things that went all wrong for the Braves in the 9th inning. And it is now 9-2. First pitch was a strike to Urshela. It's 0-1. The 0-1 swatted back foul. 0-2. 9 runs, 11 hits, 1 error for L.A. 2 runs, 4 hits, 1 error for the Braves. Gratterall is the pitcher on the mound. He'll miss the 99-mile-an-hour fastball. It's 1-2. The 1-2. Kicks and fires, swing and a miss, strike 3. So 1 down. First pitch on the way to the number 9 hitter, Merrifield, is down and away for a ball. It's 1-0. The 1-0 swung on, chopped it over to third, fires it over to first, 5-3, 2 away. Same 2 teams tomorrow night. Braves still have a chance to win the series after taking the first 2. It'll be Max Fried versus Yamamoto. You would think the majority of their bullpen is going to be available, as remember last night in the Laffer 10-1, they really didn't have to use much of their back of their bullpen. First pitch to Harris is 100 miles an hour right there on the uppercut. It's 0-1. The 0-1 to Michael. Swing, fisted foul, 0-2. It's an 0-2 count. Harris down to his last strike. Gratterall steps off the rubber for whatever reason. Now there's going to be a powwow. I mean, come on, man. It's 9-2, and you got to go out there and have a talk about what you're going to do. Mets lost today, so the Braves will stay tied with New York. Remember, the Mets have a 4-game series this week at home, but it's against the Phillies. They will start the beginning of their week against Washington, which Washington has given them some games in years past. The 0-2. Swing, that ball's ripped up the middle, but a leaping catch right there just past the second base bag. Edmund, that'll end the inning. That'll end the game. Braves lose a tough one, 9-2. A good outing for Charlie Morton. And a good outing all in all until we got to the 9th inning, and then the wheels fell off. Bad defense, bad fundamentals. And let's not forget, let's not let the third base coach off the hook. Tui should have sent Eli, and if you got the lead, you might have a much different story. We'll see you tomorrow night, Braves country. Have a good night's sleep, and we will be back at it. Max Fried versus Yamamoto. That should be a great one. 7:20 first pitch right here tomorrow.
You're in Braves country.